Many people still see Mr. Uddhav Thackeray as the real Shiv Sena when it comes to a BMC election, because Uddhav Thackeray has ruled it for so long. So I think this alliance which happened is, I think, the biggest factor in this particular election. Will it work? Will it not work is the million-dollar question, because the alliance is very clearly appealing to the Marathi Manus. If you see all the campaign which has been there, the statements of Sanjay Kapoor, the Samna editorial today, they are very clearly saying that the Marathi Manus needs to unite behind the Thackeray family. Marathi Manus has also voted in big numbers for the NDA in the last assembly elections. Will they come back to the Thackeray's from this nostalgia angle, from the emotional angle, or do they trust the Thackeray's? That is, I think, the big question in this election. A lot has been said about it being a Marathi mayor, a Hindu mayor, but whoever I have spoken to in Mumbai so far, people say the civic issues of Mumbai are the most important. We need traffic-free roads. We are right now at BMC selfie point. I think you see the traffic sound around us. People here tell me it takes an hour to go anywhere. The traffic is a mess. The roads are potholed. Drinking water is an issue. People want, I think, solutions to these problems. Whom do they trust? The BJP in Mr. Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis, who have presented this new infrastructure model. Zaka, I landed at the Navi Mumbai airport, and you take the Atal Setu. It's a beautiful, the connectivity in Mumbai, I think, is really improved. But as I say again, people vote on emotive issues, and is the Thackeray brothers reunion an emotive issue? I think that will be tested in this election.
Mr. Jha, some are saying this is the last roll of the dice for your party. You lost pretty badly the assembly election. You've been in power in the BMC for decades now. If you lose the BMC also, it's pretty much political obituary for the Thackerays and particularly for the Sena UBT, which is why you're appealing to this nativist, almost parochial politics by invoking Bala Sahib's legacy and so on.
See, we are not invoking Bala Sahib's. We are following the Bala Sahib's legacy. And we are following the peculiar Hindutva which BJP is not following anywhere. And what we say that if you are in a region, you should follow the regional things. Regional emotions are upheld. Regional emotions should be there. And anything beyond that, the purpose of development will come out from that emotions.
No, but they didn't work in the last election.
See,
why should it work now?
Not work in the assembly elections, but the municipal elections are totally different. It depends upon the what the corporations, how they manage the local issues and what are the local issues. That has to be seen. But in assembly election, that was something different. So we are seeing this election not as a continuing to be in this arena of elections, but we are seeing these elections as our control over the Mumbai.
So they are claiming exclusive sort of rights over the Thackeray name, the Thackeray legacy. They claim that they are the custodians of Marathi Manus. So where do you fit in then?
Jai Maharashtra,
Thank you.
and I will tell you this, if Bala Sahib Thackeray would, Hindu Hriday Samrat Bala Sahib Thackeray would have been alive, this Aghadi Bigadi would have happened. He wouldn't have at all allowed the power-hungry Uddhav Thackeray and his son to align with the Congress and NCP.
But madam, you split their party.
No. Yes, that is the reason. That is the reason we split. Because we were seeing that this hunger for power, hunger for power, hunger for money, hunger for corruption was getting us nowhere. And that is why Honorable Pramukh Neta Eknath Rauji Shinde decided enough is enough. And he separated. And you see today that Shiv Sena, we are not Shiv Sena. We are Shiv Sena. We are the only Shiv Sena with bow and arrow as a symbol, which has been legally given to us.
But you don't have the
Thackeray name. You see, I'll tell you as far as Thackeray is concerned, only there was one brand of Thackeray. That was Hindu Hriday Samrat Bala Sahib Thackeray. These people, two warring brothers, who fought had Mahabharat between them for 20 years. They forgot Marathi Manus then. They forgot Maratha Asmita 20 years ago. And now suddenly, after 20 years, the question is only for the relevance, only for their existence, only for the future of their sons.
Okay.
And Mumbaikars will see through this.
It's a battle for existence for the Thackeray cousins, whether or not... very quickly,
Marathi Manus quickly. Who gave the language Marathi classical language status? It was the Mahayuti government led by Eknath Rauji Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis ji. They're talking about Marathi Manus. Why the ratio of earlier it was close to 50%. Today it is close to 40%. What happened? Why the migration of Marathi Manus? Because they failed in their duty for the last 25 years. All people, whether it be from Abhyuday Nagar, whether it be from BDD Chaul, Ramabai Ambedkar Nagar, they fled, they went to Vasai Virar. But since we have taken over in 2.5 years, we have ensured Zaka, 40 lakh home for the son of the soil, whether it be the police, whether it be the Grini Kamgar, whether it be this Safai Kamgar.
Where the people of Mumbai will answer that tomorrow when the EVMs are open.
Surely.
But you know, I do want to stress on the fact that there is a almost contrasting and divergent sort of battle that is playing out. On the one side, like I said, the Thackeray name is being put to the test, put on the ballot and saying that this is a decision on the legacy of the Thackeray name. On the other side, the BJP and Miss Susi Ben's party, the Sena or the Shiv Sena, they are claiming that this is about continuity. Remember, this is the third election that Bombay is seeing in the last year and a half. There was a Lok Sabha election in 2024, then the Vidhan Sabha election, and now the Municipal Corporation election. They are saying this is going to be a vindication of not just double engine, but a triple engine Sarkar. Will it be an election for continuity and an affirmative mandate for continuing the Vikas Yatra led by Prime Minister Modi and here, of course, Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Mr. Eknath Shinde? Or will this be about restoring the Thackeray legacy and the Thackeray name? Why does this election matter nationally? I'm tossing it over to my colleague Poonam Burde in the Delhi studios.
Thank you so much for that, Zaka. We'll keep coming back to you on this. Aman and Zaka getting us that sense from on ground because it is Mumbai that is voting today. The polls are going to close in about an hour's time. There is still time for all those people that haven't gone to vote just yet. We're trying to get a sense from what is happening in Mumbai. But many outside of Mumbai, outside of Maharashtra would say that this is a local election. So why exactly is it that the rest of the country should be bothered? Well, there are more reasons than one why this matters nationally, why there is a national resonance for the BMC elections. The number one being the fact that Mumbai is India's financial capital. It drives India's economy, contributes to about 6 to 7% of the GDP. The civic body, which is responsible for day-to-day affairs, where its money is spent, how that helps in generating revenue for the city and for the country is important. Another reason is that economy is meeting infrastructure there, which means if infrastructure is bad, then that's problematic for investors as well. Who is in charge of infrastructure in the city of Mumbai? The civic body, the BMC. Bad roads, flooding every single time that there are rains there. That means it is at an economic risk and that is problematic, which is why the BMC needs to pull up its socks, at least as far as infrastructure and bad roads is concerned. The identity test, the battle that we've seen playing out in Maharashtra and Mumbai especially, over what Mumbai's identity is, over what a Marathi mayor would mean. Is this really about pride or is this about identity? That's something that is being discussed. Whether that's something on the voters' mind or not, we don't know just yet. The national stakes as far as these political parties are concerned, it's the first time around when BMC elections, the local body polls are being fought with a completely divided coalition. The Shiv Sena, the NCP remember has split and is fighting it alone despite being with the NDA at the state level. But in Mumbai, the NCP is fighting it alone. Will that be better for them or not? Will that be better for the NDA as a whole? We'll find out. India's richest civic body, the BMC, it has a budget that far exceeds some of the states in this country, which means that there is a need for greater accountability as well. What template does Mumbai really serve? It is a global south template, which is why the governance in Mumbai could be an urban model, not just for several other metro cities, but also for several other cities around the world. Nationally, that is important. What kind of questions and answers come out of Mumbai is what is being looked at both nationally and globally. As far as the climate concerns are concerned, monsoon flooding, like I said, and pollution. The AQI was never an issue in Mumbai up until now. It is something that we Delhiites spoke of, but unfortunately, now that's something that Mumbai speaks of as well. Why is it that the situation has come to such a pass as far as AQI goes in Mumbai? How the BMC will fight this? Will it be a priority for them? All of these are issues that Mumbai voters had their minds on today as they went to the ballot, some of whom have still not gone because many would say the turnout so far has been pretty abysmal, and that's something that we will talk about as well. I'm tossing it back to my colleagues Aman and Zaka, who are getting us this sense from on ground. And voter turnout and this urban voter apathy, so to say, Zaka, is something we often see, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's about 41% is what we've been told up until 3:30 p.m. It might touch 50%, but that is par for course for Mumbai. We've always seen Mumbai around that 50% range, unlike in, let's say, Kolkata or Chennai or even Delhi for that matter, where 60, sometimes even 70% is the norm. But you raised a very fundamental issue. This is, at the end of the day, an election for the civic body. It's the richest civic body in Asia, 75,000 crore budget. And yet, Mayresh, why are these candidates not talking enough about, the traffic woes in the city, the infrastructure woes in the city, the monsoon every time it happens? Mumbai has aspirations to be Shanghai, but, it floods and pockets flood every time it rains. Why are these not the priority issues?
Uddhav Thackeray was in power at the BMC. That time, every time he used to get questioned that why there are potholes on the road, why it is flooding. But in last 3 years, when the tenure got over and this entire BMC was under the state government, ruled by BJP and Shiv Sena and earlier Shiv Sena, that time also the problem remained the same. You're talking about the big infrastructure projects, you're talking about the big ticket projects, but what about the civic issues? You're talking about this Atal Setu, you're talking about you got the metro. But during this metro work, every part of Mumbai, even I've seen the South Mumbai was flooded. Sushima, just complete me. Let me complete. So that is the one question. People are angry. People are asking questions because when I did the ground report from Mumbai and various parts of Mumbai, people say for last 3 years we had to go to the BMC office and we had to approach to the officers. But why? Because corporators were not there. Because we have a direct touch with the corporators. We can catch hold of the corporators, ask him or ask her why this work has not completed. But that was not happening since last year. Though there are technical reasons, but they are angry on the state government that the elections got delayed due to some reason, whether it's a Uddhav government or whether it's a Eknath Shinde government or the Fadnavis government. So that anger is there, and that anger we can see, we may see in the vote.
Not reflecting in the voter turnout. I mean, again, it seems apathy more than anger.
That's the main question, because since 1992 till 2017, the voter percentage for the BMC was somewhere around 40 to 45%. Only 2017 it crossed 50%, and now we may expect that it may go to 50%.
So Mumbai, I mean, these are the issues that you should be talking about, not whether Thackeray name or Shinde name is going to be taken forward.
I have no doubt about it that the flooding is an issue in Mumbai, but I beg to differ with the gentleman here, is that in the last 2.5 years, yes, there was flooding, but it was far less, and I'll tell you the reason why. Whenever there is a rain, and it all depends on the high tide and the low tide. We are on the Arabian Sea, we are an island surrounded 3 sides by water. So if there is high tide and if there is high rains, unfortunately the water can't get out in the sea, and that is the reason you see flooding. But this time around there were pumps, there was far less. You could do a survey.
But okay, for flooding, you're giving the excuse. But what about pollution? No. Today, Bombay is talking about pollution, which is never an issue in the city.
Pollution is concerned, this government is very, very concerned. We had done a survey with the people, and we saw, especially with the younger voters from 18 to 29, when they call it Gen Z themselves, and they saw that pollution was an issue. We, in our manifesto, have a program for the pollution. We have allocated substantial funds to ensure that the pollution, especially the air pollution, does not happen because of continuous construction. As far as water pollution is concerned, we have set up sewerage centers. Each ward, you will see within the next 3 years, you will have a blue and a green Arabian Sea. At the moment, it is all grey. So we are working towards it.
It's not like one second. It's not like your party is offering any solutions either. When you were in power, the only issue you talked about was RA. No other issue that you raised.
And delayed the metro by 5 years.
To give a solution to each and every citizens of Mumbai as well as in Maharashtra. And what they are trying to say that the liabilities which were happened at that time, so they were also there. They can't deny those liabilities which happened at that moment. And at this juncture, for last 2.5 years or 3 years, if they say they have improved the condition of the city or the condition of Maharashtra, that is not in presence. And eventually that is how the voter turnout is recorded in this election. Because they have not done anything for the citizens of Mumbai or in Maharashtra. And that is why the reason now that the voter turnout is coming to that percent, eventually it is not more than that.
But if people are angry with what her government has done or not done, you should have seen a greater amount of voter participation, not voter apathy. It's actually down.
People are angry, that will come out in the vote.
Okay.
And the results will follow that. Eventually that the job which was to be done by the administrator under the government has not been done.
Okay, Yasha, I come back to that fundamental point. At the end of the day, for the ordinary resident, the ordinary Mumbaikar, the corporator probably has more value than even the MLA or the MP or other representatives. For the last 3 years, there have been effectively no corporators. And yet, why are we not seeing voter participation, voter enthusiasm? I mean, 41% till 3:30 means you might barely make it to 50% by 5:30.
And this is something that's something we've been speaking about ever since the last couple of elections. Mumbai, as a maximum city, is known for a minimum voter turnout, and while of course this is how it is, it was 41% until 3:30. It might cross around 50, and usually 50 to 60 is a benchmark that's seen in any election. Be it even the Lok Sabha election that took place a year and a half back, or Vidhan Sabha election that took place. It is, of course, we see a lot of celebrities coming out to vote. It is usually a tool employed by, the election commission. They get in touch with influencers, they get in touch with celebrities so as to urge the younger generation to come out and vote. But
the election commission is also getting flack. People are asking, why did you do it closer to the weekend? Everybody's taken 2 days off and, considered it a long weekend and gone. Well, I mean, basically, if at 50%, what it means is only half the city has voted. The rest of the half the city is on vacation.
that is how we see it, Zaka. Of course, when we go out to vote, of course, when we would have gone out today to vote, what you see is the younger generation does not really come out to vote. What's usually seen is the elder generation coming out to vote. The mid-elder generation, those around 50s, 60s, above that, they're still keen to come out and vote. When we reach out to Gen Zs, of course, there are a lot of schemes. When we speak of manifestos, there are manifestos that come out. We've seen, of course, with both these parties, they're trying to reach out to the younger generation with BMC manifesto, because clearly, when it comes to BMC's manifesto, be it the roads, be it pet-friendly areas, or for that matter, even the Central Park, all of this is something that the youth would really appeal to. But when it comes to even these promises that are being made, the youth somehow does not really seem to get interested into that kind of manifesto. For that matter, they are possibly disoriented. Of course, we've seen that there is...
They're not able to capture the imagination of the youth. They're not able to, capture the imagination of the youth in a way that the youth come out and vote for issues that matter to them. But, Aman, I want to take this forward because today there have been controversies galore also on election day. You have both Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray saying there's some issue with the ink, the indelible ink that the Election Commission uses to identify the people who have voted. What is that controversy about? There's also some controversy about some special machines being attached to the EVM, so on and so forth. And even on election eve, this whole continuous thing about this narrative about vote chori seems to be continuing.
Well, yesterday, Zaka, we had an NCP Sharad Pawar spokesperson along with Susi Banji, and she was very clearly saying that this election has already been stolen. The election is already stolen. We know the result, what is going to happen. So I think today this marker controversy that you're putting this indelible ink on your finger, and if you use a sanitizer, maybe that mark can go away. So social media is flooded with those images. But as Muriush reported and the election officials have made it clear that, that's the same ink they have been using for many years now. Now it's just a marker which they are putting. The BJP says that this is already an excuse being derived by the opposition today because they know what's going to happen tomorrow, and that is why today this whole thing is being built up. So tomorrow they can say, the election was rigged, this indelible ink was getting washed off with sanitizer, and people of the BJP have voted double, triple times. I think in every election we have seen this, and this is what BJP would stress actually if they win tomorrow, that, the opposition already had admitted its defeat. Zaka, where do you see the Congress party in Mumbai?
Yeah.
It's nowhere in the campaign. It decided not to go with Uddhav Thackeray because Raj Thackeray joined hands with him. The Congress party, which once was a prime party in this city, is totally wiped out of campaigning. It may not win in much of the wards, I feel. It may be in single digits for all we know. So I think the opposition has lost a trick here. The Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray are totally banking that the Marathi sentiment will go with them. They are not speaking about anything else. They are just saying, ek hai to safe hai. Because when the BJP said this, and Mr. Modi said this, or Mr. Yogi said this, they were attacked for polarization. But now, I think the things have become really desperate, it seems. That's what the BJP claims, that things are really desperate because the Thackeray brothers also know that if they don't succeed now, if they don't get at least 60 to 80 seats, in Mumbai, they may not have a future ahead. Because this alliance, will it last even this alliance? Will it go till 2029 assembly, or will it be over now because Raj Thackeray is still not committed to it?
I want to play out the sound bites of both Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray, both of whom voted today, and this controversy around indelible ink and marker and all of that seems to have taken the headlines. But make no mistake about this. This is an existential battle for the Thackeray cousins. If they lose the BMC, they are virtually looking at political exclusion. not just from the city of Mumbai, possibly even from the state's own politics. Let's play out what both of them said, and then I'll bring it back to our guests here.
बरं का आता काहीतरी नवीन पेन आणलंय आणि ते पेन मध्ये इतक्या तक्रारी सगळ्या बाजूनी येत आहेत की तुम्ही बाहेर पडल्यावरती त्याला जर सॅनिटायझर लावलं तर ती शाई जाते. म्हणजे आता कालचं घ्या तुम्ही, एक दिवस वाढवून दिला उमेदवारांना की तुम्ही मतदारांपर्यंत जाऊ शकता. आता हा असा कुठचाही नियम नाही जो कोणत्याही निवडणुकांमध्ये वापरला नाही, तो अचानक नवीन आणला. म्हणजे ते फरक म्हणजे परत ते कशासाठी पैसे वाटायला. म्हणजे संपूर्ण प्रशासन हे सत्तेसाठी कामाला लागलेलं आहे. आम्ही आमच्या परीने जे काही करायचंय ते करतोच आहोत बरं का, परंतु ही काही चांगली लोकशाहीची लक्षणं नाहीत.
शाही सुद्धा काही ठिकाणाची मला कळवण्यात आलं की वोटरची शाही पुसली जाते. मला असं वाटतं निवडणूक आयुक्त हे पगार कसला घेतात ह्याचाही आता खुलासा झाला पाहिजे आणि निवडणूक आयुक्तांवरती एक बंधन पाहिजे. अन्यथा राजकीय पक्षांचे कार्यकर्ते निवडणूक आयुक्तांच्या कार्यालयात रोज बसवले गेले पाहिजेत की जेणेकरून आम्हाला सुद्धा कळेल की रोज हे जे काय आता दादागिरी चालते यांची निवडणूक काळामध्ये.
I want to ask Mayuresh this whole thing about, appeal to Marathi Manu sentiment, Marathi Asmita and all that. If it didn't work in the assembly elections, why should it work in a corporation election?
Exactly, Saga, because the corporation election, somewhere both the brothers have united. One, they have not shown that the two parties have united. They have shown that the family has united, and they are saying that this was the dream of Bala Saheb Thackeray, and if he had attempted that, and after his death also a lot of other leaders attempted that both the brothers should come together. So it's a Bala Saheb Thackeray's dream. Bala Saheb Thackeray is still a very emotional issue with the Marathi speaking crowd, especially in the pockets of Lalbagh, Parel, Dadar, Girgaon, and in South Mumbai also. So that is one. Number two, somewhere they have cut down the narrative of Hindutva which BJP tried again in this election with this counter that the Marathi Manus stayed together, then only the Mumbai is safe. Otherwise, and that's why we saw that ek hai to safe hai kind of thing. So somewhere to counter the narrative of Hindutva which happened in Lok Sabha, which happened in Vidhan Sabha, now the brothers have come up with that we are united. We have kept our differences aside of 20 years. Now Marathi Manus should also unite and vote for us. That is it.
How do you counter that? You've been saying that this city is infiltrated with Bangladeshis.
Entire premise that Marathi Manus will come together and vote for the Thackeray's is misplaced. Who are we? In the Mahayuti, Honorable Eknath Raoji Shinde is a Marathi Manus. In fact, he is the most popular Maratha CM that Maharashtra has ever seen. Who is Devendra Fadnavis ji? He is our CM. He is also Maharashtrian. He is also Marathi. And people of Maharashtra, Mumbai have decided time and again that we are with the Mahayuti. So therefore, now to come up suddenly and say, and see the elections in Nagar Parishad and Nagar Panchayat, we have a strike rate. The Shiv Sena is a 93% strike rate. One of the best that any party has. So therefore the Marathi people have made up their mind. They are with progress, they are with development. The younger generation, you were saying about pothole riddled roads. We have come up with a solution that we'll have concrete roads. You have to give us time and we will deliver. Dan, my friend here said that you were also with them. But the only person who called shots for 25 years was the Sahib. Whether it be the standing committee chairman, whether it be the improvement committee chairman, it was only Uddhav Thackeray and the family with the son.
Like a small example I'll give you. Just look at your right side and you can see the potholes there. Who is having a control over BMC? Who is having control over BMC? Who is ruling the BMC in the last 3 years? So that is the issue. It is just outside BMC headquarters we are having potholes.
Understand, Rome was not built in 2 years or 5 years. It is a process, and we have assured in the manifesto that by next December, there will not be a single pothole in the roads of Mumbai. You do come.
No, one thing. The BJP in alliance first with United Sena, then in alliance with your party, has been in power throughout for the last 10 years plus now. Other than that brief interim of 2.5 years.
We are not running away from it. We were in the BMC, but we were at watchdogs. We have never said that we are going to call the shots in the BMC. It was always and always the Thackeray's the family members who wanted
How it
to,
could be when you have got the important post like improvement committee, you're part of the.
was always my-
When you are part
my
of any
UBT.
committee, it is not the case. So
I'm
my
not
thing is
saying-
that what question you ask Zaka is the right question. When you are talking about or when you are criticizing Thackeray, it's fine you're criticizing Thackeray, but you have to say that even BJP was part of it. Even Shinde cannot
they were
cannot
watchdogs.
take away his hand from that because he was
No.
part of
Let
United
me-
Shiv Sena.
Let me say this. As far as Mr. Thackeray is concerned, Shri Eknath Rawji Shinde was always a very important part of Shiv Sena, but a very silent man. He never was power hungry, nor even satta hungry, grabbing the power. That was left to the wisdom of Uddhav Thackeray. But when it was too much beyond for us to understand why this was happening, that is when our honorable deputy chief minister Eknath Rawji Shinde decided that we have to separate, and we separated.
That's the issue. That's the issue that you went to the people with, both for Lok Sabha and for Vidhan Sabha. But let me take this. Let me take this forward with Aman. So what happens tomorrow? Let's paint the two scenarios. One, if BJP and Ms. Sushiben Shah's party, the Shinde Sena, win, what happens then? Because it's a pretty phenomenal thing for the BJP, which never got to rule the BMC, to be able to come to power along with the Shinde Sena would mean completely changing the dynamics of the city.
Well, absolutely. I think, Zaka, my guess is that BJP will be the single largest party. It seems very clear. They will be very close to the majority mark. That's what I picked up from the ground, and maybe proved wrong tomorrow. But I think BJP may be the single largest party, and maybe Uddhav Thackeray, the alliance will also, I think, do well. I don't see them collapsing, because as I've been saying, that both the brothers coming together has an emotive connect on the ground. They may do well, but actually I think the number matters. If they stop, I think, below 60, I see that alliance breaking up. But if they get more than 80, if they touch around that 100 mark, 80 to 100, then I think this alliance will see this as a boost towards 2029, because they will see, because Uddhav Thackeray has been down and out for quite a time now. This might be the new success formula. I think Uddhav Thackeray, I think the what statements have come today, I think Mr. Uddhav Thackeray is also realizing that maybe he will not be able to win it. But if they get a good number, I think this alliance has certain longevity. I would put it to him that will you continue the alliance after the BMC polls, the MNS and the Uddhav Thackeray, or do you think it's only for this particular election?
This alliance has not been done particularly for this election. This alliance has been done particularly for the people of Maharashtra. And it was the dream of Shri Balasaheb Thackeray to these two brothers should come together. And that has happened. Now the thing is that if you see these elections as a tool for continuing with the alliance, it is not so. The brothers have come emotionally. They have not come for the purpose of politics or for the purpose of vote. And second thing is that if Ms. Sushiben Shah says that Mr. Eknath Shinde is not responsible, I should say that Mr. Eknath Shinde was PWD minister. And yes, and he was managing the affairs of the infrastructure as well as roads. So she could not escape the liability at this moment.
Okay. Give me a moment, because we have to take a break. When we come back, we will get you the latest voter turnout figures as well. Like I said, till 3:30, it's just 41%, so it might touch 50% by 5:30 when polling closes. And then in the last half hour, we'll also build up to the exit poll numbers. At 6:30 is when the Election Commission will formally allow us to declare the exit poll results. There has been a lot of controversy around exit polls recently as well, whether they are exact polls or not. We'll take a quick break. Right on the other side, continuing coverage from right outside the BMC building in the heart of South Mumbai.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Began as a tragic death has spiraled into one of the most explosive inheritance battles India has seen in recent years. A 30,000 crore rupees empire, a contested will, charges of greed, and now serious questions over sworn testimony before the court. From a London polo field to Delhi courtrooms, this family feud has unfolded in dramatic chapters, and the twists are far from over. Here's a detailed look at the latest in the Sanjay Kapoor inheritance saga.
115 days, a passage of time not to be considered long by any yardstick. But for two of India's biggest business and film families, it has been an epoch, a saga of grief, grievances, and eventually charges of greed. It is one of India's biggest inheritance battles, playing out in public with enough twist to turn it into a potboiler. At stake, a 30,000 crore empire. Barely hours after posting his condolences over the catastrophic Air India crash, Sanjay Kapoor passed away himself in London while playing polo. The cause of death was attributed to him swallowing a bee. The freak incident triggered one of the ugliest family feuds in recent times. Barely a month after his death and days after a somber prayer meet in Delhi came the first bombshell. Sanjay's mother wrote to his company Sona Comsters board accusing his wife Priya Kapoor of an illegitimate takeover, questioning Sanjay's purported last will where he left everything to Priya and excluded his own mother. While this was the first question raised over the will, Sanjay's purported last testament faced even more stringent legal tests in the days to come. Weeks after Sanjay's mother, his children with his first wife, Karisma Kapoor, moved Delhi High Court claiming denial of access to his estate, challenging the will, and in the coming days, the scrutiny of Priya Sachdev Kapoor's claims only intensified. Karisma's counsel raised pointed questions over the will. When was it drafted? Where was it drafted? Who drafted the will? When was it modified? And crucially, how were the modifications carried out between the 17th of March 2025 and the 21st of March 2025, when Sanjay was in Goa with his son Kian? The counsel also questioned how he could exclude the same son out of his will 3 days later. Amid the claims and counterclaims by both sides, the Delhi High Court ordered Priya to share all details of Sanjay's estate with Karisma's children, terming them bona fide heirs. The courtroom drama played over the next few months of 2025, but the biggest and most sensational twist came this year. In one of the most remarkable revelations, it has now emerged that contrary to Priya Sachdev's sworn affidavit in court, where she claimed to be a witness to Sanjay's signing the modified will on the 21st of March 2025, her call records show that she was not even in Gurugram, with the digital trail placing her firmly in Delhi, several kilometers away. The call records show that between 9:22 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., Priya's cell phone location was in Delhi. The court, while reserving its order in the matter, had asked both sides to refrain from making melodramatic arguments. But the latest revelations indicate that the melodrama is far from over.
Drama indeed as far as this case is concerned, but let's reiterate exactly what is the latest twist in this case, and they're all surrounding the call records. Do they allegedly expose Priya Sachdeva's claim as far as the will is concerned? Now, what did she claim? Priya claimed that the will was signed in her presence on March 21. This is the last will that has now become the bone of contention. Her affidavit says that this will was signed in her presence in Gurugram. But here's the twist, and this is what has become a huge bone of contention now as the matter goes on in courts. Call data records tell a very different story. The phone location from those who are alleged to have been there in Gurugram during the will signing actually shows them in Delhi from 9:22 to 4:30 p.m. I also want to go across to my colleagues Ananya Bhatnagar and Anand Narasimhan joining us. Ananya has been tracking this matter in court. Ananya, just give us a sense of what is it that the court will seek from Priya Sachdev now? What are the questions that are emerging on what she has told the court with this latest twist coming to light? What does she need to explain to the court now?
Well, absolutely. In fact, the CDR records reveal a lot as far as this will is concerned, because since the very beginning of this case before the Delhi High Court, and since now the judgment is already reserved, there were a lot of questions about the will being there, will being not there, and the kind of disclosures that have happened on the part of Priya Sachdev Kapoor, and that is exactly why this suit came into the picture. And this suit also questions the kind of a will that is there. Various questions being asked when these arguments were taking place as far as why was this will disclosed so late, whether this will is actually a legitimate will or not, and most importantly, why would Sanjay Kapoor sign a will right 3 months before his death when he was completely healthy? So all of these questions were some questions that were raised during the course of hearing. Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani had raised a lot of questions about how this will was actually generated. The digital evidence, the digital footprints of this will are something that were questioned by Mr. Jethmalani, who was appearing for Sanjay Kapoor, and that is something, you know, which raises a lot of questions as far as the legitimacy of this will. And now these fresh call records completely change the picture, because the claim that has been made by Priya Sachdev Kapoor since the very beginning was that this will was signed in front of her, and the call records reveal completely different, because the day that will was signed, she was in Rajouri, while the will has been signed in the AIPL office in Gurgaon. So how would these dots be connected, and whether the court would actually go into all of this is something that we'll get to know when the judgment actually comes out in the picture.
Okay. This is indeed turning out to be quite a murky saga, Anand. And right from the very beginning, soon after Sanjay Kapoor's death, even Mother Rani Kapoor had raised questions over the documents that she says were, signed from her, or she was made to sign without full understanding. So, it hasn't really been a very clean story from the very beginning.
Good afternoon, Shivani, and good afternoon to our viewers. Let's understand one thing, that Karishma Kapoor does not want anything in this. She is not a litigant, or she is not wanting a share of the Sanjay Kapoor estate, which is valued around 30,000 crore. What she is saying is that she is acting on behalf of the interest of her children. One of them who's still a minor, that is Sumaira and Kian. So now these are the two people on behalf of whom that Karishma Kapoor approached the Honorable Delhi High Court with this petition. And sometime in September, October, that's when the court decided, taking cognizance of this petition, that there should be a declaration of the total amount.
Welcome back. You're watching our special coverage here on CNN News 18. It's a local election in Mumbai, but the ramifications are national. They are big for the parties involved, for the city involved, and what the future really holds for the state of Maharashtra and the rest of the country as well. This is a special edition that we're bringing to you here on CNN News 18, getting you the most in-depth analysis from our studios here in the National Capital Region, and on-ground analysis and the feel and the mood of what's happening in Mumbai. My colleagues Aman Sharma and Zaka Jacob joining us, getting us that perspective from Mumbai. But before we get you that sense, let us take a look at how exactly Mumbai has voted. We've spoken about what urban voter apathy looks like. We talk about this, unfortunately, every single election. And the story is no different this time around as well. The voter turnout until last count, which was at 3:30, is below the 50% mark. And that's the most disturbing trend that we see. Unfortunately, this is something that we see in several elections, be it the local body elections, the state elections, or even the Lok Sabha elections in Maharashtra, and several other such metro cities as well. If you look at those statistics on your screens, from 1992, there has never been an election, barring just one in 2017, when the voter turnout figure was above 50%. Doesn't look like that could change very much this time around either, because like I said, up until 3:30 p.m., it was still at 41%. We have about half an hour to go before the polls close, but will Mumbai come out and vote in large numbers? Tossing across to my colleagues, Zaka and Aman. Zaka, why is it that we see this kind of urban voter apathy really? Do people actually think that it really doesn't make a difference because it's too small an election?
Well, for one reason, I think it's also happened to be on a Thursday and results are tomorrow. So a lot of people, young people particularly, have decided to take the long weekend and head out of town. So that could be one possible reason. But it's also a peculiarly Mumbai problem. If you look at urban elections, for example, in Delhi or in Kolkata or in Chennai, the voter turnout is well above 50%. In Kolkata, it's above 70%, sometimes even 75%. In Chennai also, it's, borderline 70%. Why is it in Mumbai alone, Aman? This is a peculiar problem, and Poonam was listing out from 1992 onwards, only one instance where there's been 55% voter turnout. Otherwise, less than half the city votes, or thereabouts.
Well, I think the thing about Mumbai, and I was speaking to some morning walkers at Marine Drive in the morning, and I spoke to them, and they spoke a lot about this is the problem, that is the problem, and nobody had voted till 8:30 a.m. when I spoke to them. So, I think people's do have a lot of problem. They speak about it a lot, but when it comes to actually going and casting their vote, especially in a BMC election, it is not happening. People maybe feel that, this is not maybe an important election. They've already voted for a Vidhan Sabha election just, about say 18 months back. Maybe it's a case of voter fatigue also with repeated election. Maharashtra sees these elections also very closely. First it saw the Lok Sabha, then it saw the Vidhan Sabha, and immediately the BMC. And as Yesha was saying, the Gen Z is not voting. So that is a real cause for worry, Yesha, isn't it? How to improve the Gen Z voting in Mumbai? It's a young city.
Absolutely, and that is a problem. Of course, something that we've seen over a point of time, even in the Lok Sabha elections, be the posh area of Malabar Hill, where we in fact see likes of Piyush Goyal coming and casting their vote, you'd see the elder generation, the senior citizen, even those on their wheelchair would come out and vote. Of course, we've seen, today when you speak of social media, be the Mumbai police, be the BMC, they've put so many videos of them helping out senior citizens cross the road, cast their vote. But yes, Gen Z, when we speak of Gen Z, of course, when it comes to a long weekend, we see all the nearby hotspots, be it Lonavala, be it Alibag, all of them are usually packed. On the other hand, to reach out to them, Zaka, we've seen that usually it is the restaurants, it is a lot of places and malls, they offer this kind of discounts so that people can show their ink finger and avail that discount, and that is how we've seen. But that really does not appeal to the Mumbaikars. In fact, well ahead of time, we've also seen how there was a holiday that was declared for people to go out and vote. But like if you see today, we right here right outside CST, there are, as a normal crowd at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock peak time, their crowd is as normal as it can be on any other working day. So possibly people have chosen to be out on the streets or enjoy that day off instead of going out to vote.
Then go and vote. That's a dereliction really of your responsibility. Your first and most important responsibility as a citizen is to cast your vote and to ensure that your elected government, at whatever level it is, corporation, state, or even parliament, is held accountable. But Mairesh, a lot of people have also been complaining that their names are not there on the voter list. Susi Ben's party says this is exactly the case for an SIR. But what have you been picking up from the ground? People saying that their names are not there.
Personal example of mine, one of my family members, she and along with her daughter, they have gone. Their name is there. They got a chit also from the local party as well as from the corporation. But when they went at that particular polling booth, their photos were mismatching. And that's why they couldn't vote. So that is an epic case. The person who had voted for the Lok Sabha, for the state assembly, the person couldn't vote for the corporation because the photos were not matching, and that exactly is the problem. Because if you remember, corporations have always said that we will be if there is a mismatch, we will go to the door to door, we'll do that survey, we'll make them fill some form and will allow everyone to vote. But this is not happening. Where exactly it is happening?
Exactly what Rahul Gandhi keeps saying, vote chori. You put Brazilian models photo instead of ordinary voters photo.
This is not vote chori. But Mayuresh, I'm really sad that your enthusiastic family could not vote. But I'll tell you this, there are more than 1 crore voters voting from the city of Mumbai. I'm not running away. The Election Commission should have done what it was needed to be done to ensure that every citizen could vote. But unfortunately, it's not happened. And I think, as you rightly said, SIR is the need of the hour. We all in the Mahayuti government always believe that every single person who is the citizen, who is a Mumbaikar must vote.
Why can't we make it just simple? You have any government ID which shows a Mumbai address and you can show that you've lived here for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. You can go ahead and vote.
But that's for the Election Commission to decide. It is not so simple, I'm sure, because there are so many people. This Dubar Matdan is what? That you are born in UP, but you've settled down here, you vote here and you vote from UP also. So therefore,
such a difficult problem to solve, Raman. We all hail from somewhere and work somewhere else. It's not that difficult a problem to solve. You have a government ID with a local address, you should be allowed to be.
There has to be a purification of the voter list, which is the fundamental reason, and that is SIR, which is a constitutional machinery.
Voter list is never purified, as he was saying. Somebody who's voted just a year ago is now not there on that voter list.
Because when we ask the question to the State Election Commission, they all went to the BMC or the TMC, they always say, we get the list from the State Election Commission. When we ask the State Election Commission, have you prepared the list? They said, no, we get this list from the Central Election Commission. So it means it's the same list.
No. So,
it's the same list going
So I'll tell you one more.
In a year's time, the list has changed.
5th January, the electoral rolls were published. The final electoral polls of the Mumbai Municipal Corporation were published, and it was the duty of every single political party. It's a small vote, Here in Mumbai, there are 50,000, but just in the MMR region, it is close to 20 or 25,000 people. So usually a polling agent of the political party know that who are from the community, whose name is missing. They go door to door, and that's how we have also done. We as Shiv Sena, you know, the Maddar Yadi, uska vachan hota hai. We study, we read page to page. For us, it's the Gita. When we go for election, we must know. We train our polling agents, and therefore it is so. Therefore,
irrespective of what the results are tomorrow, do you see the vote chori narrative being brought up by the opposition, the Congress and the Shiv Sena, etc.?
Definitely. I think the groundwork is already being laid for that today. I see Mr. Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray coming out tomorrow if they lose, saying that, you know, this election was stolen, people could not vote. This ink finger controversy that, you know, people from the BJP have voted double times. I think all these things will emerge tomorrow. Already the groundwork is being laid today. But overall, Zaka, I think Mumbai is also a lot about infrastructure, ease of living, and average Mumbaikar wants to reach from his home to his office in the shortest possible time, not travel in congested local trains. You know, he wants ease of living. But sadly, in this election, I have not seen any party speak about that ease of living of a common Mumbaikar. I think that is what has been missing. Yes, Metro has been brought, Coastal Road has been brought, Atal Setu has been brought. There are many developments which are happening, but I think that particular, and that is why what explains, I think, the voter apathy, because the voter at the end of the day feels that I am struggling in going in this train from my house, from a suburb to central Mumbai for 2 hours, you know, traveling, stuck on the traffic in the roads. Nobody's addressing that issue. Why should I even go and vote because there's no change in my life?
Mr. Jha, you should have addressed that issue exactly. That this is our vision for Mumbai 2030.
We've been trying to, and we will try to. And we'll ease the living in Mumbai to all the people who are living here. And eventually, Madam was telling about the SIR. I don't believe that it is purification. It is clearly making way of genuine voters to go out of the list. No, this is not a Bengali. This is not Bengali. Even in Bihar also, there are proofs. Even in Bihar, yes. No. There might not be complaint, but these are defects. But these are defects which are kept in abeyance. No. 65 lakh people.
You can't deny the fact that a lot of people have said, and after turning up at the voting booth, that their names are not there or their photos are mismatching.
The political party whom they have affiliation to. I mean, every political party knows.
So it depends upon the political party. I don't think so, but
political party. It's the election commission's job. Anyway, very very quick final word. What is going to be the implication of this result once it comes tomorrow, whichever way it swings? If it swings the BJP Shiv Sena way, or if it swings the Thackeray cousins way?
See, you speak of this. What's important is that this factor of Thackeray cousins is something that we've been speaking about. The election would now determine whether they would actually continue. Thackeray as a brand would continue to have that stronghold over BMC, because 25 years it's always been Thackeray running or Shiv Sena running the BMC. Now what's important is that, of course, last election we saw there was absolutely no opposition. Would Thackeray cousins turn out to be a strong opposition against the Mahayuti is something that needs to be seen, or it's like a do or die factor as to whether Thackerays would continue running
what about
the
the
BMC.
fate of the alliance itself, Aghadi and Mahayuti?
I see that this is a test for all. Why? Because this is a test of Thackerays. As Yasha said, it's basically, it will prove that whether Thackeray magic is working or not. It is a test of Eknath Shinde, because he has been always branded that he's man from Thane and not from Mumbai. So it is his test. It is a test for BJP's Devendra Fadnavis, because that will basically decide whether Fadnavis will be elevated in Delhi or not, because he has won the assembly election. But after that, this election will decide whether he gets that path or not.
All right. I want to thank all our guests, Susi Ben Shah and Mr. Jha. Thank you very much for joining us. All our reporters and editors, Aman Sharma, Yasha and Mayuresh. Thank you for joining us. In about half an hour's time, we'll have the first exit poll results. We'll have that covered live here on CNN News 18. And tomorrow morning from 8 a.m., we'll have live coverage from the maximum city, the city of Mumbai. Who will get to sit in the throes of power in this building right behind me, the BMC. Quick break. We'll see you on the other side.
This is News 18 Network. India. India's largest news network.
Began as a tragic death has spiraled into one of the most explosive inheritance battles India has seen in recent years. A 30,000 crore rupees empire, a contested will, charges of greed and now serious questions over sworn testimony before the court. From a London polo field to Delhi courtrooms, this family feud has unfolded in dramatic chapters and the twists are far from over. Here's a detailed look at the latest in the Sanjay Kapoor inheritance saga.
"215 days, a passage of time not to be considered long by any yardstick. But for two of India's biggest business and film families, it has been an epoch, a saga of grief, grievances, and eventually charges of greed. It is one of India's biggest inheritance battles, playing out in public with enough twist to turn it into a potboiler. At stake, a 30,000 crore empire. Barely hours after posting his condolences over the catastrophic Air India crash, Sanjay Kapoor passed away himself in London while playing polo. The cause of death was attributed to him swallowing a bee. The freak incident triggered one of the ugliest family feuds in recent times. Barely a month after his death and days after a somber prayer meet in Delhi came the first bombshell. Sanjay's mother wrote to his company Sona Comsters board accusing his wife Priya Kapoor of an illegitimate takeover, questioning Sanjay's purported last will where he left everything to Priya and excluded his own mother. While this was the first question raised over the will, Sanjay's purported last testament faced even more stringent legal tests in the days to come. Weeks after Sanjay's mother, his children with his first wife, Karisma Kapoor, moved Delhi High Court, claiming denial of access to his estate, challenging the will, and in the coming days, the scrutiny of Priya Sachdev Kapoor's claims only intensified. Karisma's counsel raised pointed questions over the will. When was it drafted? Where was it drafted? Who drafted the will? When was it modified? And crucially, how were the modifications carried out between the 17th of March 2025 and the 21st of March 2025, when Sanjay was in Goa with his son Kian? The counsel also questioned how he could exclude the same son out of his will 3 days later. Amid the claims and counterclaims by both sides, the Delhi High Court ordered Priya to share all details of Sanjay's estate with Karisma's children, terming them bona fide heirs. The courtroom drama played over the next few months of 2025, but the biggest and most sensational twist came this year. In one of the most remarkable revelations, it has now emerged that contrary to Priya Sachdev's sworn affidavit in court, where she claimed to be a witness to Sanjay's signing the modified will on the 21st of March 2025, her call records show that she was not even in Gurugram, with the digital trail placing her firmly in Delhi, several kilometers away. The call records show that between 9:22 a.m. and 4:30 p.m, Priya's cell phone location was in Delhi. The court, while reserving its order in the matter, had asked both sides to refrain from making melodramatic arguments, but the latest revelations indicate that the melodrama is far from over.
Drama indeed as far as this case is concerned, but let's reiterate exactly what is the latest twist in this case, and they're all surrounding the call records. Do they allegedly expose Priya Sachdeva's claim as far as the will is concerned? Now, what did she claim? Priya claimed that the will was signed in her presence on March 21. This is the last will that has now become the bone of contention. Her affidavit says that this will was signed in her presence in Gurugram. But here's the twist, and this is what has become a huge bone of contention now as the matter goes on in courts. Call data records tell a very different story. The phone location from those who are alleged to have been there in Gurugram during the will signing actually shows them in Delhi from 9:22 to 4:30 p.m. I also want to go across to my colleagues Ananya Bhatnagar and Anand Narasimhan joining us. Ananya has been tracking this matter in court. Ananya, just give us a sense of what is it that the court will seek from Priya Sachdev now? What are the questions that are emerging on what she has told the court with this latest twist coming to light? What does she need to explain to the court now?
Well, absolutely. In fact, the CDR records reveal a lot as far as this will is concerned, because since the very beginning of this case before the Delhi High Court, and since now the judgment is already reserved, there were a lot of questions about the will being there, will being not there, and the kind of disclosures that have happened on the part of Priya Sachdev Kapoor, and that is exactly why, this suit came into the picture, and this suit also questions the kind of a will that is there. Various questions being asked when these arguments were taking place as far as why was this will disclosed so late, whether this will is actually a legitimate will or not, and most importantly, why would Sanjay Kapoor sign a will right 3 months before his death when he was completely healthy? So all of these questions were some questions that were raised during the course of hearing. Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani had raised a lot of questions about how this will was actually generated. The digital evidence, the digital footprints of this will are something that were questioned by Mr. Jethmalani, who was appearing for Sena Kapoor, and that is something which raises a lot of questions as far as the legitimacy of this will. And now these fresh call records completely change the picture, because the claim that has been made by Priya Sachdev Kapoor since the very beginning was that this will was signed in front of her, and the call records reveal completely different, because the day that will was signed, she was in Rajouri, while the will has been signed in the AIPL office in Gurgaon. So how would these dots be connected, and whether the court would actually go into all of this is something that we'll get to know when the judgment actually comes out in the picture.
Okay. This is indeed turning out to be quite a murky saga, Anand. And right from the very beginning, soon after Sanjay Kapoor's death, even mother Rani Kapoor had raised questions over the documents that she says were, signed from her, or she was made to sign without full understanding. So, it hasn't really been a very clean story from the very beginning.
Good afternoon, Shivani, and good afternoon to our viewers. Let's understand one thing, that Karishma Kapoor does not want anything in this. She is not a litigant, or she is not wanting a share of the Sanjay Kapoor estate, which is valued around 30,000 crore. What she is saying is that she is acting on behalf of the interest of her children. One of them who's still a minor, that is Sumaira and Kian. So now these are the two people on behalf of whom that Karishma Kapoor approached the Honorable Delhi High Court with this petition, and sometime in September, October, that's when the court decided, taking cognizance of this petition, that there should be a declaration of the total amount of estates that have been declared by or that remain with Sanjay Kapoor. Now that's been in a closed envelope submitted to Justice Jyoti Singh, who is now apprised of the matter. And what are they claiming? They are saying that their father, Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, whose untimely death has now sparked this, he died on a freakish manner in June 2025. He has actually started estates and enterprises in the name of Sumaira and Kian. So the children say that the father had said that he would provide for them and take care of them, and that's why they should get at least 1/5 of the estate each, and that's the claim. They are now entering this.
ये मौका ऐसा है जहाँ पे आपको अपना ओपिनियन आप मतदान के जरिए आप एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हो।
आज का दिन है जब रिमोट कंट्रोल हमारे हाथ में आता है। सो मैं यही कहूँगा, सारे मुंबई वालों को कहूँगा, आके वोट जरूर करें।
मैं समझता हूँ कि मेरे अस्तित्व की निशानी है।
कोई भी अपने घर पे नहीं रुके, सभी लोग लोकतंत्र के इस उत्सव में सम्मिलित हो
जो काम हमने किया है वो लोगों के सामने है, पुणेकर जनता वो देख रही है, उसका अनुभव भी कर रहे हैं।
मुंबई महानगर पालिका का चुनाव विश्व के लेवल का चुनाव है। यहाँ पर ये देश की आर्थिक राजधानी है, करोड़ों रुपए का इसका बजट है।
Welcome everyone, you're watching the BMC election special on Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Mumbai has voted in one of the most crucial civic elections in recent years. The Brihanmumbai Municipal Corporation, Asia's richest civic body, witnessed a high-stakes contest as polling completes in 227 wards. This contest is primarily between the BJP-led Mahayuti alliance and the United Thakre front, with both sides aiming to control India's wealthiest civic body, one that governs Mumbai's infrastructure, housing and key public services. But this election was a mystery, with many alliances taking new shapes, some going solo. While in the statewide civic polls, the picture became even more confusing. For the second phase of these civic polls across Maharashtra, the 6 parties in the state, BJP, 2 Shiv Senas, 2 NCPs and the Congress, have allied in different combinations to fight each other across those 29 municipal corporations. But we focus on Mumbai and BMC. Tacit understandings on the ground, unholy alliances on paper and a high-pitched local versus international narrative dominated these elections. Allegations from MNS chief Raj Thakre regarding the use of markers instead of indelible ink also garnered headlines. Now, votes have been cast. All eyes will be on the counting tomorrow across 23 locations. But before that, we bring to you the poll of polls exclusively here on CNN News 18. But why the focus on BMC so much? The stakes are quite high on all fronts. Let me break down the political stakes for you first up. For the BJP, simple, the Mahayuti alliance, it is an attempt to end the dominance of the Thakres in the BMC, strip them of their last, bastion and establish a BJP triple engine sarkar. The BJP is very gung-ho. BJP in centre, BJP in state, a BJP stamp in BMC is what they're really looking forward to. They say that will allow them to unleash their developmental model. For the Thakre cousins, it's an attempt to reclaim that Shiv Sena legacy, a test of the Marathi sentiment and the fight to stay relevant in the very politics of Maharashtra. If they don't do well here, it could well be curtains for the Thakre's future. What is at stake for Mumbai and Mumbaikars? Let's not forget that it's not just about the politicians. It's the annual budget of nearly 75,000 crore rupees that's on stake. A return to local accountability, remember, after 9 long years. These elections are taking place after 9 years. And the future of the city itself, its many infrastructure projects, all depends on what happens in these elections. It isn't just about, Mumbai. The BMC elections matter nationally as well. Let's break down why there has been such a big focus nationally on these elections. Well, it's the country's financial capital and the election results will drive India's economy. In fact, Mumbai contributes about 6 to 7% of the total GDP. Furthermore, civic issues like bad roads, floods can trigger economic risks for a city like Mumbai. Some other cities in India are already witnessing the blowback after infrastructure issues. It's also a battle for that Marathi pride versus Mumbai identity. Which way will Mumbai choose? A more cosmopolitan approach or a Marathi identity stamp? Nationally, the future of alliances hangs in balance depending on how parties like the Sena UBT and the NCP, both factions, the Sharad Pawar faction and the Ajit Pawar faction, perform. This election is also that test of accountability that I talked about, with the BMC being India's richest civic body. Its budget demands greater accountability nationally, which is why all eyes are on these elections. Mumbai's governance has the potential to set an urban model, and India needs one desperately. Our metro cities are struggling to set a global benchmark. Can Mumbai get us there? And with Mumbai being a climate frontline city, floods, resilience, mangroves, reclamation, all are decided at the civic level. So therefore, the ecological concerns will be shaped post these results. What matters to Mumbaikars? Let's also focus on that, because politicians have spoken. What are the issues on which the Mumbaikars want to vote on? Let's bring you those concerns. First and foremost is pothole-free roads. Roads concretization across Mumbai has been underway for the past 2 years, yet despite repeated assurances, potholes and poor road quality continue to pose a challenge for commuters. Everywhere I went in Mumbai, roads were dug up, mobility was restricted, causing jams too. So this was a constant refrain from locals. The BJP Shiv Sena alliance has pledged to deliver a pothole-free Mumbai, with Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde promising the city will be free of all potholes within the next year. This includes, of course, all the dug-up areas in Mumbai as well. Second big concern for Mumbai is flooding and waterlogging. Monsoon flooding remains Mumbai's most persistent civic challenge. Every year, low-lying areas are affected by severe waterlogging due to inadequate drainage capacity, delayed desilting and stalled infrastructure upgrades, disrupting daily commuting as well as business activities. And as expected, all parties have made very tall promises in this regard. Now, a new concern that has surfaced in Mumbai this time around that everyone was talking about when I went there was air quality and pollution. Rising pollution from construction, traffic, industrial zones has made the air quality a growing concern. Citizens are increasingly demanding stricter enforcement and long-term solutions. So, BJP, Shiv Sena, RPI, Mahayuti combined their manifesto promises 17,000 crore environment and climate action plan, while their rivals Thakre's combine has promised Mumbai construction environment management plan and enhanced protection of green spaces. Next is the big issue of infrastructure and public transport. The city has been crying for greater infra for decades, and some of it has now started to be delivered, started to become very visible. But overcrowded local trains, congested roads, delayed infrastructure projects highlight the strain on Mumbai's public transport systems. Voters are seeking faster execution and better conditions, coordination in these large-scale civic projects. Many feel that the current government may have a slight advantage in this image that they can deliver. And finally, footpaths and open spaces. These also continue to be a matter of great concern. People want breathable spaces in the city. Let's open this up to our guests joining us. Remember, we will be getting you poll numbers, exit poll numbers very soon. But before that, Abhijit Majumdar, Akhil Swami, Sanjay Kumar, psephologist, Savio Rodriguez and Sanjeev Srivastav, senior journalist, all joining us. Sanjay Kumar, I want to understand from you, we don't really have a template as far as these BMC elections are concerned. Would that be fair to say? Equations have changed so much. There is no way to predict these elections. Is this a psephologist's nightmare?
Yes, it is a psephologist's nightmare. Why? First, if you look at the alliances, so all parties are against each other and all parties are in alliance with each other. So it becomes very difficult how the votes of support base of one party will get shifted to the other, or how it's going to contribute to the other. Because two parties may be in alliance in one municipal corporation, but in other place, in another district, they may be fighting against each other. So it creates a confusion among the workers, it creates a confusion among the voters. So will the vote get transferred? But I think the bigger nightmare would be that, the size of the constituencies are very small, much smaller than the assembly constituency, and assembly constituency is much smaller compared to the Lok Sabha. So the margin of victory and defeat are very small, and sometimes you might get the vote share right, but since the seats maybe a large number of seats may be decided by small margins, you may get it off, you may be off the mark when it comes to seats. It is happening quite often these days in the Lok Sabha election. It happened in 2024 Lok Sabha election. It also happened in large number of state assembly election which we have witnessed in the last couple of years. So that's why BMC election or the municipal election are much more tricky to predict compared to an assembly election.
Right. In fact, let me go to the ground in Mumbai. My colleague Aman is also joining us from there. Aman, which way is the sea breeze flowing this evening in Mumbai?
Well, see, Shivani, it is very difficult to predict an election, and I won't hazard a guess till the results come out tomorrow. But if I tell you what are the issues on the ground and which are the big factors in this election, the number one factor, I think, is the Thackeray brothers uniting. Whoever I've spoken to in Mumbai, people, especially in the constituencies where the Marathi community is in larger numbers, even in South Mumbai, people do have this emotive and people do have a connection. People speak fondly and this nostalgia about the Thackeray brothers coming together. It's also a last throw of the dice by the Thackeray brothers in a sense that they have faced serious reverses in the 1.5 year back when we had the assembly elections here. So they need to perform here. Can they win the election? I am not too sure. But if they perform well and be a strong opposition with about 70 to 80 seats in the 227 member BMC, that could be a strong comeback by the Thackerays. Will it happen? We'll have to wait till tomorrow. I think the number two issue is the Marathi Manus issue. You know, in the last election, we have seen that in fact the majority of Marathi Manus had voted for the NDA, and that is why Eknath Shinde emerged as this big hero. Devendra Fadnavis called himself the son of the soil, and that is why you saw the big voting for the Mahayuti in the assembly election. But this time, the things are different because the two Thackeray brothers are together. They are appealing to the Marathi Manus to unite and saying, "Ek hai to safe hai." They are hoping that the Marathi Manus shifts course towards them. Will it happen? In what proportion it will happen? Maybe that will determine the election. Shivani, there are 87 seats here in Mumbai where the MNS UBT together is fighting against the Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde. Who wins those 87 seats, I think, is the make or break thing in this election, because that will also prove who really has the control over the Marathi vote. That all said, Shivani, I think the people on the ground are more bothered about the civic issues. They complain, as you were saying, about potholed roads, traffic jams. Ease of living is a big issue. People want to get from their home to their office in the shortest possible time, not spend 2 hours, 3 hours daily in traffic or in congested local trains. They want parties to solve these issues. But sadly, I feel no party is coming forward to speak about the ease of a living of a common Mumbaikar in these BMC elections. Mr. Fadnavis has spoken about, the infrastructure that has come, but I think people are looking for more. And because people are not being promised this ease of living in no uncertain terms, I think that explains also the voter apathy. Till 3:30 p.m., only 41% Mumbaikars have voted in these all-important high-stakes BMC elections.
Yes, and we're waiting for those updated numbers because the last 6 elections from 1992 onwards, only in 2017, the last election, did the voting percentage cross 50%. Otherwise, for the previous 5 elections, it was below 50. But we're waiting for those updated numbers. Abhijit Majumdar is also with us. Abhijit, the interesting question here is, with so much that has changed in the Maharashtrian political landscape, if you look at these elections, not just in BMC, but the other, 20-odd municipal elections in Maharashtra, one thing is emerging, that the biggest rival or the prime rival or the pole is BJP now. All alliances are centering around either defeating the BJP or coming together with the BJP.
Right. It has very clearly established itself as the number one party in Maharashtra, especially after that spectacular assembly results. There's very little doubt that BJP calls the shots. But Mumbai, as Aman just said before me, right now, it will be very interesting to see how the Thackeray brothers coming together, how that will pan out. And, MVA will have the Muslim vote, remember. So, is it going to be a MM vote that sort of gives MVA an edge?
But there is an AIMIM also fighting, not on many seats, but in the Muslim dominant
also
seats.
Congress is fighting.
Congress is fighting alone. They are actually fighting for the same Muslim or the minority vote.
Also, yes. So in multi-cornered contest, anybody could win. So they, we can't say that there is advantage so and so. But and also, even though the two brothers have united, both of them have come so far away from the ideology of the OG Thackeray, of Bal Thackeray, and Bal Thackeray is missing from the posters. He is, his ideology is not being pushed by MVA. and the two brothers, even
well,
the two
they've tried. One would say they've tried, but maybe too belatedly. Savio, would it be too little too late for the Thackeray brothers to suddenly now come out and roar like the Shiv Sena tigers of the old, the Balasaheb, legacy? Because this is the fight for that, but will they succeed in that?
Well, I don't think they will, because not many people in Mumbai or in the rest of Maharashtra see either Uddhav or Raj Thackeray as a legacy carrier of Balasaheb Thackeray. Raj had it initially, but he's made some serious flaws in decisions and has not continued in that manner, which he could have taken forward the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. But I think what you are just seeing is the curiosity that the people in Mumbai are having as far as both these brothers coming together and trying to revive a legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. But unfortunately, as rightly said by the colleague before, that they didn't even put Balasaheb on the posters. So what really is the legacy? Because on their own, they don't have a legacy. Okay. On their own, people aren't going to believe them. It is Balasaheb Thackeray's vision and his very strong identification of Hindutva was what brought people together, and that is why the Shiv Sena held the BMC for such a long time. You know, now that they are with the BJP, now that Eknath Shinde is the leader of the Shiv Sena, more than Uddhav and Raj Thackeray, I think it's going to be very difficult for the Thackeray brothers, no matter what legacy they want to carry forward, to actually establish themselves as far as Mumbai is concerned. Because the way I see it...
In that sense, it doesn't just matter for Mumbai, Sanjeev Srivastava, it also matters nationally. Do you think if the Thackeray brothers or Uddhav Thackeray were to be diminished post these results, if NCP, Sharad Pawar, even the Ajit Pawar faction, which is contesting against the BJP or independently in these elections, if they were to be diminished, this would have national consequences politically?
I think the national script, Shivani, is more or less already decided with the string of assembly results which we have had last year from Delhi to Bihar and Maharashtra earlier and Haryana earlier. So yes, definitely, it'll be another occasion for chest thumping and really saying that now we are in complete control of the political narrative if the NDA wins this election. But even if there is a reverse, it won't send a very big message of any kind of reversal. Because at the end of the day, it's a very local election. It is, and like Aman so rightly pointed out, the constituencies are so small and the contests can be, when it will be multi-cornered, there can be so many factors playing out. But watching from a distance, I think to talk about Balasaheb Thackeray today is about as much relevant as to talk about Vajpayee and Advani in BJP.
Right.
See,
we've got our first numbers in. Just stay with me. The viewers will be very interested to know the first numbers are now with us, and this is the JVC exit poll. It is giving the vote share currently, but the vote share numbers very much in favor of the BJP plus, which is the BJP, Shinde Sena and another party, 44%. The Thackeray brothers and combined 35%, Congress at 14%, fighting along with the BVA and others, which includes a lot of other parties like Ajit Pawar, the one faction of the NCP, AI, MIM and others. It's just 7%. Now 44% for the BJP combined, Abhijit, this is going to, of course, a 9-point difference in percentage of the vote share is going to mean possibly a repeat of the assembly elections.
Yes, in a first past the post scenario, 44% vote share is very good. I mean, it would, if that holds on the actual counting day, then we should see a fairly emphatic win.
Akhil Swami, your take on the first exit poll numbers that are coming in. We're going to see a little bit of the denial of the exit poll numbers, and that is expected on the eve of results. But this is not looking very good either for the Congress combined or for the Shiv Sena. Their vote percentage is not very bad. It's a pretty healthy 35%. The Marathi vote, mind you, in Maharashtra is about 36-37%. But they're not going to be able to be the leaders with this kind of a vote share.
See, this exit poll shows that BJP is losing BMC elections. And very clearly because, see, 44%, And you have to note that Congress and Bahujan Aghadi did not contest 36 seats. So percentage doesn't show the right picture. But if an exit polls, you know, as how they happen, and I have not heard about that pollster. So 5% BJP always is given ahead of it. But in my opinion, this exit poll shows that BJP is losing this election.
Well, in the recent exit polls in Bihar, one would argue that wasn't the case. But I do want to go across to Sanjay ji as well. Sanjay Kumar, how do you read these numbers? This is the first set of poll that has come to us. We will be bringing our viewers more polls that are being released and a mega poll of poll in minutes to come. But JVC exit poll giving BJP plus a 44% vote share. How does this translate on ground?
You have already mentioned that the gap between number 1 and number 2, which is to say BJP alliance and the Shiv Sena alliance, the two Thackeray brothers, the gap is almost 9% as it is being projected by one of the exit polls. Remember what has happened in Bihar recently. There was a 9% gap between the NDA and the India alliance, and we know how massive sweep NDA was managed to register in Bihar assembly election. If this is the gap which is going to come, even if it is 1 or 2% less gap, then I think there's no doubt, there's no question about BJP alliance not winning election. The question will be how many seats, how big, whether it is going to be a
Seat numbers are also with us.
Just
bear with me. We've got the first seat projections. This is the JVC exit poll, and the seat projections are also with us. 114 is the halfway mark, 227 total wards in the BMC. 138 is the number that has been given to the BJP Shinde combined. Only 59 for the Shiv Sena Thackeray brothers. Congress 23, others 7. It seems like a sweep. There's no other way to, describe this, because the last time these elections were held in 2017, yes, equations were different. BJP and combined Sena was fighting together. They were at 80 odd each, 84 and 82. So if we judge by that number, what the undivided Shiv Sena got in 2017 was 84. This time around, Uddhav Thackeray plus MNS plus NCP SP is getting 59 only. Savio, how do you look at these numbers? All right, let's go across to Sanjeev Srivastava then. Sanjeev, can you hear me? 138 for the BJP plus, only 59 for the Thackeray brothers. Would this mean a death knell for their politics in Maharashtra, in Mumbai especially?
In the manner the script is unfolding, like I was mentioning all through last year, these kind of results will not surprise me. Also, these results look more likely because the manner in which the opposition right now stands politically dispirited in the eye of the voter. Because nobody wants to really cast their vote in favor of somebody who they think will lose. So BJP being on a roll since the 2024 election, Lok Sabha elections, which was their last big reverse, I think a lot of voters may also be going in for a party which they think is likely to win. Uddhav Thackeray or Raj Thackeray
interesting you say that
covered themselves with glory these last few years, and the fact that the Congress is out of that opposition alliance also hurts them. So I would agree with Sanjay Kumar that this result looks likely. We will still know the final numbers and final result only tomorrow. But the exit poll does not come as a surprise.
No, I want to take this to Sanjay Kumar to understand, in these BMC elections, is this very much, what we have begun to call presidential elections? Does ward level issue, corporator, candidate matter? Or are people going to go by party allegiances and alliances, or the statewide image of a certain alliance? For example, currently the combined that is in government, would that have the edge if they if they are already in power in the state level, or would it be still ward wise considerations? Sanjay Kumar?
Sir.
All right. Don't think we have Sanjay Kumar with us, but I want to go across to Abhijit with this. Abhijit, what do you think? Does the current government already has a starting edge given that most elections have now become about double engine, triple engine, BJP has been touting a triple engine model for these BMC elections, and they have become very much, about personalities, not so much about who their local candidate is anymore.
No, it does play a big role, and as Sanjeev just said, the opposition has actually discredited itself by, first of all, losing. The issues that they have raised does not seem to be resonating with the voters at all. And so the larger national trend will obviously have a bearing in the local elections as well. But to say that a civic election will be completely devoid of local issues, I don't think that's going to happen.
Aman is also there. In fact, Aman has also been getting a sense on ground. So, Aman, would it be largely local considerations, ward by ward considerations? Who is the candidate that people know more? Who is more accessible, approachable? Do these things matter more? And if that is the case, even on that count, our first exit poll, the JVC exit poll, is suggesting the BJP is well past the others.
Well, Shivani, I think the corporator is your first point of contact when it comes to getting a job done in the government. That is what the people reach out to you even before your MLA, and an MP, of course, is a big man in the constituency, not so approachable. Some MPs are not. But corporators are the first ones. And for the last 3 years, 4 years, Mumbai have not had corporators. That has been the major grouse of the people, that where do they go if they want a matter to be resolved in their area, in their street, in front of their house. Whom do they go to? And I think the exit poll numbers, more exit polls we should wait. I think this is just the first one. But that has also been the general sense on the ground that the BJP will easily be the single largest party close to the majority mark. That has been, the political analysts have been telling me here. What they feel is the number which is going to be very interesting. That's going to be the UBT plus MNS number. If the UBT and the MNS are able to prove to be a strong opposition with 70, 80 seats maybe, then that alliance has some longevity. This alliance could get strengthened because the Thakres could see maybe this is the recipe for success, and they should maybe continue as an alliance ahead till the 2029 assembly elections as well. But if the Thakres and the MNS fall below 50 seats, or if they don't even get 60 seats, then I think this alliance will come under a lot of question marks. Was it just an opportunistic alliance to whip up emotions amongst the Marathi people? They did not speak much about development, while the BJP has been speaking about the development activities in Mumbai, be it the coastal road, be it the Atal Setu, the Mumbai metro, or air-conditioned local trains that they are promising. So I think BJP has spoken more about this, as I was earlier mentioning, this ease of living for a Mumbaikar. I think that may be touching the chord of the people, that, you have a chief minister in Devendra Fadnavis, you have a deputy chief minister in Eknath Shinde. Why should we go for the Thakres now in the BMC? Will they always be on a collision course and work will not get done? That is also something that I heard from a couple of morning walkers today at Marine Drive. So I think this is very clear, and people are very intelligent voters. The only 50% odd may vote in this election, but I think people will cast their vote for a leader who they think, and a corporator who they think can get their work done, and in more sense, it seems to be the BJP for them.
Yes. Savio is back with us. Savio, 138 for the BJP combined. But look at the numbers for the others. The others here, mind you, include the Ajit Pawar faction. They include AIMIM. So not like complete unknowns. Not that, yes, NCP hasn't played a big role in Mumbai BMC elections in the past, but, they are there fighting solo. Just 7 for the others, 138 for the BJP. This would be seen almost as a national, stamp of approval for the BJP's model, as Aman was talking about.
Well, Shivani, I think BJP will do much more than 138. I think I will see them around 145, 146 is my reading into the situation. I also believe that the Thakre brothers together will be less than 50. That's how I'm seeing their performance. Well, I can only tell you my travels to Mumbai and my interaction with a lot of people out there. I sense that a lot of people are looking at BJP differently. They're looking at the Eknath Shinde faction differently. They are looking at change in Mumbai. They don't think that the Thakre brothers can bring the change. And that is one of the reasons why I think they will do less than 50. The development model that the BJP is taking forward is what is going to drive the success of the BJP in the BMC election.
No, but if you have to look at these numbers, is this a thumbs down to that entire Marathi, sentiment? Can we look at it like that? Can we look at it as the fact that the Mumbaikas are moving on to a very parochial rhetoric or a regionalistic rhetoric?
Not really, Shivani, because please let's understand one thing. The Thackeray brothers are not the custodians of the Marathi Manus. The Marathi Manus custodians are people who work in the interest of the people of Mumbai and Maharashtra. That's the fact. So they are going to vote for people who are going to go work about development, deal with the issues of floods, deal with the issues of solutions that corporators can bring to them. And that is the level of confidence that the Mumbaikar is going to look at. The Mumbaikar doesn't necessarily care whether the Thackerays espouse Marathi Manus. What they are looking at is, have they really worked for the Marathi Manus? And that's going to be the deciding factor. And I think that's why I say that BJP will do between 144 to 146, could actually touch 148.
All right. But, given these first set of exit poll numbers, we talked about why these elections matter nationally. If we were to look at these set of numbers, then these are the major takeaways as far as these numbers suggest. One, that there aren't that many takers for the whole Marathi versus outsider pitch. Yes, Marathi pride matters, of course, regional pride matters, language pride matters everywhere, but it is not so much seen as antagonistic to what is outsiders, quote unquote, or an international image that is talked about. Remember, Annamalai's comment was made into a big deal by the Sena UBT and MNS because all he said was that Mumbai is not just about Maharashtra, it's about an international city. But that was played up. BJP's organizational might continuing to deliver as far as the BMC is concerned, and that cannot be discounted. Even their opposition now knows to fight against the BJP is a tall ask, not for any other reasons, but for the fact that they've got greater ground organization. Matoshri's dominance in civic body all set to end, at least as far as these numbers are concerned, because they have ruled the BMC as a top party for decades, right? But in the last civic elections in BMC in 2017, BJP and Shiv Sena were virtually neck to neck. After the split, it seems that Matoshri dominance in BMC will end. Shiv Sena Shinde could now obviously suggest that they are the real, carry forward torch bearers of that Balasaheb Thackeray legacy. So the Thackeray brothers reunion not having much of an impact. This could have ramifications of what happens in Maharashtra politics. Further to go, Raj Thackeray has already shifted some of his allegiances quite a bit. Sometimes he's seen supporting the BJP, sometimes not so much. Could there be another flip in store? We don't know. Results will make it clear. But certainly, as far as these takeaways are concerned, this is all win for the BJP. What we've also seen today, Akhil Swami, is that already there have been certain complaints being raised. There have been issues being raised. Do you see that with these kind of results, if they were to come true tomorrow, that we'll see the same raga of EVMs, voter manipulation, ink issue, etc., etc.? Has the opposition already conceded defeat in some ways because they were raising all of these issues today?
So the basic point is, in last 15 days, BJP has discredited itself so much. See, in Bangladesh, Hindus are being killed. China is claiming our land. Nepal is claiming our land. So I think, and somebody was talking about as to Shiv Sena has left its Hindutva ideology and we want tiger instinct. We don't need tiger instinct within the country. We have to unite the country, and 142 crore people we have to unite. We have to, the killer instinct is required with Bangladesh. Killer instinct is required with China.
Maharashtra and Mumbai? Was MNS uniting
because
people?
The people of Mumbai are so intelligent. They are observing everything which is happening around the world. India is totally isolated because this discredited government led by Mr. Modi has led to us in this situation. All our neighbors are enemies. All over the world we have enemies.
You really
we have
think
the highest tariff in the world.
Abhijit Mujumdar is voting on whether there are issues with Bangladesh and America and China right now.
They've
got so many issues on the ground. They're not going to vote for those issues even if there is a national stand on these elections.
I don't know. Why you don't know? But the point is, they should be intelligent enough to understand
But why should
as
they
to how
vote
the
on those
country has
issues
been
in these
isolated
elections,
totally.
Akhil Swami? Why should they vote on those issues in these elections?
Why not? Because the
I'm
country
sorry,
is
the
discredited.
Congress complains that every
we are
election
under
is
threat
made
from
about
outside,
Modi.
we are under threat from inside.
The Congress
So,
complains
should not
that
we
all
be concerned
elections
about
are
it?
made about the BJP and Narendra Modi at the center, whether it's a state election or a municipal election. But you only are arguing for the fact that they should judge Narendra Modi for the BMC elections.
Yes, because the country is discredited. We are from threat from outside, we are under threat from inside.
Okay,
The country is totally divided on religious grounds.
Abhijit Majumdar, this is a test of Modi, and if it is a test of Modi, I don't know which way the opposition will sing tomorrow, because the numbers certainly are in BJP's favor.
No, it is not.
No, I disagree with him. BJP certainly has the edge. I mean, election after election, it has proved that. And how much of Bangladesh relations or China relations or Pakistan relations will affect this election, I doubt. I don't agree with that. Now, I'll just quickly touch upon the whole thing of where the Thackeray brothers, it seems, have lost the plot, is that they have not brought anything. Even after getting together, they haven't been able to reimagine their politics. It's the same thing about, outsider, isko bhagao, usko pito. Beyond that, we don't see that they have, they have not moved. Whereas BJP and Shiv Sena are talking about, giving women training in AI. There's that AI may be a catchword and they might be latching on. But even on the face of it, the manifestos, the focus of the campaign seems to be, positive, forward-looking. Whereas we see, in the case of the Thackeray brothers, they're still trying to get Indians out of bona fide Indian, hardworking, honest Indian taxpayers, Indian citizens out of Mumbai. Whereas not a
How much does that rhetoric work anymore?
And they have not brought up the Bangladesh this issue at all.
I don't know where that is coming from. That is wishful thinking, because nobody on the ground is going to vote on that.
They have not brought up the Bangladesh infiltrator issue, the illegal Bangladeshi.
Or the persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh.
Sheikh Hasina
which should
is
be
the
their
infiltrator.
issue, isn't it?
Sheikh Hasina is in India.
Sir,
I don't know why that matters. Let's focus our
attention.
attention. One second. Let's just focus our attention
a
intelligently on the BMC
convict by
elections.
the
Akhil
Supreme
Swami,
Court of Bangladesh.
let's not divert the issue. There are issues on ground. Let's focus intelligently on those issues. I don't want to needlessly talk about Bangladesh and Sheikh Hasina in the country right now. Please, let's not do that. But I want to go across to Shweta Shalini, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us, and Devashish Mark is youth leader of the MNS, also with us. Shweta Shalini, the first set of numbers with us. It is showing a pretty big lead for the BJP Shinde combined, a vote share of 44% and seats up to 140. Your first response, are these numbers accurate according to you?
Absolutely, they are bang on. We are expecting these numbers because we know for sure that the Mumbaikars do not want to have namaz in Shivaji Park, and irrespective of everything else, the numbers and the Mumbaikars have been showing this to us for a very long time. I've been here listening to all the people talk on your panel. I want to just remind you of some statistics. In 2024, in the Lok Sabha, when Maharashtra and the BJP Sena UT fared extremely bad, yet at that point of time where we got only 2 seats out of 6, we had still got about 2 lakh extra votes than the UBT and the Congress combined. So remember this, in the Vidhan Sabha, nearly 5 of my MLAs had 50, they won with a margin which was more than 50% of the vote from the other competitors. If you actually look at it, the UT at that point of time got almost about 7 lakh extra votes than UBT and Congress. And today, the fact is, our mandate is very clear. We are looking for a Viksit Bharat, we are looking for a Viksit Maharashtra, and we are looking for Viksit Mumbai. And we have it up our sleeves, we have it on the cards. Mumbaikars have seen the change happening, whether it is metro line, whether it is the coastal road, whether it is the new Mumbai airport. They are seeing the change, they believe the change, and this is a vote for development. This is a vote for
Devashish, how do you look at these numbers? 59 for the Thackeray brothers plus the NCP SP combined.
I won't buy that, Shivani ji. And I'm so sorry I'm late because I was just at the polling booth and there was one bogus voter and it's just going on the entire day that the people I'm firstly I'm not able to understand that this is a BMC election and if few people are talking about the infiltrators from Bangladesh, I think BJP government in central and in state since 2014. So what BJP government has done till date, I am not able to understand that. That is point one. Point two is now if you are talking about the BMC elections, so there are n number of people across the city where their names are there online. The names are showing displayed online.
But they're not finding their names when they go to the booth.
Exactly. And one more point. Now if we see that the coastal road are being developed and all, the BJP spokesperson, respected madam is saying that it's fine. But then in 1998, the BMC, the Brihanmumbai Municipal Corporation, was in a deficit of 600 crores. And after 22, it was surplus of above 92,000 crores. So because there were funds raised by the Thackeray government, raised by the Shiv Sena, that's how the BJP...
But would you get credit of raising funds or would you get credit of delivery? Because, you know, this is an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because the Shiv Sena has had a legacy, the uninvited Shiv Sena has had the legacy in BMC.
Yeah.
If you're claiming that you are the heir of that legacy, the anti-incumbency of what you did or did not manage to do when you had the BMC in your control will also fall on your doorstep. Then you have to answer why till 2017 there were so many issues. Yes, elections were delayed, but then so many issues in Mumbai cannot be just a product of the last 4 years when it was under the state administration, right? BMC has to take the flak for that.
So Shivani ji, it was delayed for 3 years.
Yes.
And there was an administrator sitting and all.
What about till 2020, for example? What about till 2020? It's not like Mumbai was not having any issues till then.
So Shivani ji, COVID was also there for 2.5 years, probably 2 years. And then the World Health Organization had recognized the Dharavi model where Uddhavji Thackeray was the CM of the state. So we have getting recognition from the WHO, which is not a governmental organization.
Okay, Shalini, respond to that.
See, Shivani ji, you should be very clear. The moment a panelist starts talking about bogus voting, EVM, this, that, and all that, that means he completely agrees to the numbers and that they are facing loss. Second, my dear friend has forgotten that for years together, BJP was in power with Shiv Sena. And if you go back and check with the Mumbaikars, people remember the work that Nitin Gadkari ji has done more in Mumbai than anything else. What people expected from the Thackeray family was per se that they would look at a development model that Mumbaikars really
No, but Shalini, you cannot brush under you cannot brush under the carpet the very many cases.
Let me finish this. If you actually look at Anil Parabji's column today morning in Hindustan Times, you will see what they have given to the Mumbaikars. They are saying that we are looking at Marathi Manus plus Muslim vote and that's how we are going to come back to power. So this is exactly what Mumbaikars did not need. What they wanted was transparency. What they were expecting was audit. What they were expecting was delivery on promises.
No, but tell me one thing. You cannot brush under the carpet the many issues that voters have faced on ground today, where many of them who have voted just 12 months ago in 2024 or 14 months ago in 2024 are not finding their names this time around for the BMC elections. Many Mumbaikars have missed out on voting today.
Exactly.
No, we agree. Shivani ji, I completely agree. And in fact, we are strongly going to take this up with Election Commission also. And that's one of the reasons why BJP has always supported SIR. And hence, we have always been saying that this is the need of the hour because we know that false voting...
No, but this has nothing to do with SIR. These elections were not affected by SIR.
And in fact, No, so we
What is
primarily
the
say as a
correlation? What is the
party we
link?
stand strong to say that Election Commission needs to be answerable to most of these things.
Okay,
And
I want to take a quick comment from Devashish. I've got more numbers coming in. Yes, Devashish, then Akhil.
Yeah,
and Abhijit.
one more point I want to add, that the BMC is the richest, the Mahanagarpalika in Asia. I assume that BJP, Mr. Annamala had come and stated the other day. Now my point is that the pen, the marker pen which is used for the polio thing, were used for the voting thing, and it is easily being wiped off if you use the sanitizer or whatever, the spirit based product. So is this what about to achieve in life? Like, we are trying to increase numbers of bogus voters here and there and everywhere.
No, but if there are people who are removing their ink mark and trying to vote again, you can't claim that only one side will benefit from that. Your voters could also do it. In any case, Election Commission has said that only ink doesn't determine whether you can vote or not. Your voter ID card and your number is ticked.
There were no FIRs registered in spite of we going to the election officers.
Okay, I've got some more numbers coming in. I've got Access My India, vote share coming in. This one is also giving a massive lead, a 10-point lead to the BJP combined. 42% for the BJP, Shiv Sena, and 32% for the Thackeray brothers. Numbers very similar to the earlier poll we brought, but the Congress numbers are lower in this one, 13%, and the others are slightly higher, from 7 in the previous exit poll to 13 in this one. So Congress could suffer even more as far as Access My India numbers are concerned. The BJP, Abhijit, maintaining another 10-point lead in yet another exit poll. This again would indicate a sweep.
Yes, this is the second set of figures we are getting, and if it is veering on the margin of 42 to 44% in the exit polls, it does indicate a robust win for the BJP. But again, Shivani, we have seen exit polls go wrong terribly.
Yes.
So
and in these
every
elections,
time
we
there
don't
has
have a
to be
template to
rider.
Judge because alliances have changed. Yes, Akhil Swami, in this exit poll by Access My India, the Congress vote share is even down. It was at least 20% in the previous one or close to that. It's only 12% in this. The Congress going solo, was that a terrible, terrible decision on their part?
Shivani, I'm a teacher. I'm amused and liked your comment that if the Election Commission has given the opportunity of rigging by BJP, why doesn't the opposition also rig the election?
No, I didn't say
so
that.
I do not know. So if this is the logic of BJP, we are rigging the election, you can also rig the election. See, the election total administration is with BJP, the police is with BJP, ED, CBI is with BJP, and today you see in Jharkhand as to what Hemant Soren has done to ED, as to what Mamata Banerjee is, you are dividing the country from within. Mark my words, you are winning elections, you are dividing the country, and the country we are trying to save from the clutches of this incompetent government, which government cannot save us from the outside threats, and dividing the country from within.
Okay.
And the BJP spokesperson has the courage to say, हम उन्हें नमाज नहीं पढ़ने देंगे. अरे वो हमें पूरे विश्व के अंदर हमें पूजा नहीं करने देंगे. 5 करोड़ हिंदू रहते हैं पूरे विश्व के अंदर. आप लोग हिंदू विरोधी हैं, सनातन विरोधी है बीजेपी वाले.
नहीं, कौन नहीं करने देगा विश्व में पूजा?
अरे जो आप उन्हें नमाज नहीं पढ़ने देंगे, वो आपको पूजा नहीं करने देंगे.
कहीं पे भी नमाज पढ़ेंगे वो.
अरे कहीं भी क्या, हम भी कहीं पूजा करते हैं यार.
नहीं,
हम जहाँ चाहते हैं हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ते हैं.
हम
मस्जिद के सामने पढ़ते हैं. हम तो मस्जिद के सामने पढ़ते हैं.
मस्जिद के सामने का थोड़ी ना ये.
अरे बजरंग दल वाले पढ़ते हैं.
क्यों नहीं पढ़ेंगे? भारत है.
अरे भारत में तो अमेरिका में आप क्रिश्चियन को परेशान करेंगे. आप क्रिश्चियन को
let's not divert from the issue that we're actually discussing today. Can I request both of you to please just hold on? Shalini, please respond one to.
I'm a real.
All right, we have got the seat numbers for Access My India as well. 141 expected on expected lines because the vote share is 42% in this case. And as far as the numbers for the Shiv Sena, UBT and MNS is concerned, it's 63. So this one, they're crossing the 60 mark. Only 14 for the Congress, 9 for the others in this case. So Congress and others seemingly very marginal as far as these elections are concerned. They're not really having a big impact. They're not really being able to keep the BJP from a clear majority. 141 BJP and Shiv Sena, and of course they're fighting with the other smaller parties as well. Yes, Shalini. Your comment on these numbers, Access My India numbers, but of course also what Akhil Swami is saying, that this whole polarization that the BJP is creating in Maharashtra about namaz or aarti or bhajan or this and that.
तो अखिल जी का दर्द तो सामने आ ही गया है शिवानी जी. सो इट्स वेरी वेरी क्लियर. अखिल जी स्टार्टेड विद द फैक्ट दैट आई एम अ टीचर. आई एम completely against. Please take that back because
I am a Shuddha Sanatani, not Farji Sanatani.
You put in words to in Shivani's mouth and then you put in words to my mouth saying that and said that I said that we are rigging the elections. Of course not. We don't want to. I gave you statistics and numbers that
you
Mumbaikars
said
have
Shivaji
been.
I'm sorry. Shalini, you said Shivaji Park mein namaz nahi padne denge.
Since a long time.
Shalini.
No, I didn't say that, Shivani.
Let's not talk over each other. Sir, let's not talk over each other. Shalini, explain that please. Explain that.
बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का भी स्मारक है शिवाजी पार्क पे.
अगर उद्धव जी का बस चले तो शिवाजी पार्क में नमाज पढ़ने देंगे. This is exactly what I said. I stand to it. I am a Sanatani and not a Farzi Sanatani like a I don't have to add a Swami inside in my name to prove that.
महाभारत रामायण को कहानी किससे बताने वाले फर्जी सनातनी होते. आज मोदी जी ने कहा है रामायण और महाभारत.
The second set of numbers are concerned. Devashish and I, please. Akhilji, you will have to cooperate with me, please. Speak when I'm coming to you. Devashish.
Shivani,
one second. A second poll, Access by India poll, also showing virtually the same trend. Now, when there are multiple exit polls that come out, you have to look at the trend that each poll is suggesting. The trend is clearly the same, that the BJP combined is the clear winner. They're racing ahead, beyond the majority mark and much ahead from the other combined. Devashish.
Yeah, so that's okay. That's just a poll. We'll see tomorrow how it proceeds further. My only point is कि the BJP spokesperson right now said that Shivaji Park पे हम नमाज उद्धव जी अगर बनेंगे, if he'll be in power like BMC में, so शिवाजी पार्क में नमाज पढ़ेंगे. बट कभी बोला उन्होंने ये? I just want to know कि उन्होंने बोला कभी है. और उन्होंने ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि शिवाजी पार्क पे हिंदू हृदय सम्राट बाला साहब ठाकरे जी का भी स्मारक है और शिवाजी पार्क में उसके सामने ही राज साहब ठाकरे जी भी रहते हैं. So ये सब, these are all fake narratives which are being created years and years.
But can I ask you? I think the fundamental question, Devashish, is of course you are from the from the NCP SP, but the fundamental question
MNS.
facing the from the MNS, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
The fundamental question facing the UBT and the MNS now both is about how true they have been to their ideology. Uddhav faces that question because he aligned with the Congress and the NCP, broke away from the BJP. It's not about breaking away from the BJP, but combining from, to what were your polar opposites in politics. And then Raj Thackeray has also been playing footsie with the BJP in recent years when he was still estranged with Uddhav. So
Shivani,
ideology clearly doesn't matter for your partnership either, right?
So Shivani, my only question is, when Fadnavis ji in like past a decade, if he's saying that we will not sit with the NCP, never, 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 नहीं, 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 और अभी उनके साथ ही बैठ रहे हैं, अजीत दादा के साथ में ही बैठ रहे हैं, जिनके ऊपर मोदी जी आके 70,000 कोटी का उन्होंने घोटाला किया, ये सब बोला गया था. उसके बाद में there is one place, अकोट नगर पालिका, आप वहां पे जाके MIM के साथ में आप गठबंधन कर रहे हैं, and then you're standing for the elections.
वहां तो कांग्रेस ने भी कर लिया.
कांग्रेस तो ठीक है ना, कांग्रेस का तो सेक्युलर आइडियोलॉजी है ही.
Okay. I have one more set of numbers that has come to us. Let's keep this quick. And Sakal exit poll has also come in. There also the trends are virtually the same. The BJP is 119 along with the Shiv Sena. Remember, the halfway mark is 114. So clearly in comfortable position. 75 though, this time for the Thackeray brothers, 20 for the Congress and 14 for others. So yes, these numbers are slightly lower than the other two exit polls, but the trend is very much clear that the BJP and Shiv Sena are in pole position. We'll continue to get you more numbers. Stay with us. The poll of polls clearly indicating the BJP is number one, and that would mean they would get an opportunity to set up what they call is a triple engine sarkar. Triple engine sarkar would also mean triple the expectations. But there are more numbers that are set to come. Of course, counting is tomorrow. We'll stay with us. Our continuous coverage is ongoing.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Sanjay Kumar, I want to understand from you, we don't really have a template as far as these BMC elections are concerned. Would that be fair to say? Equations have changed so much. There is no way to predict these elections. Is this a psephologist's nightmare?
Yes, it is a psephologist's nightmare. Why? First, if you look at the alliances, so all parties are against each other and all parties are in alliance with each other. So it becomes very difficult how the votes of support base of one party will get shifted to the other, or how it's going to contribute to the other, because two parties may be in alliance in one municipal corporation, but in other place, in another district, they may be fighting against each other. So it creates a confusion among the workers, it creates a confusion among the voters. So will the vote get transferred? But I think the bigger nightmare would be that, the size of the constituencies are very small, much smaller than the assembly constituency, and assembly constituency is much smaller compared to the Lok Sabha. So the margin of victory and defeat are very small, and sometimes you might get the vote share right, but since the seats maybe a large number of seats may be decided by small margins, you may get it off, you may be off the mark when it comes to seats. It is happening quite often these days in the Lok Sabha election. It happened in 2024 Lok Sabha election. It also happened in large number of state assembly election which we have witnessed in the last couple of years. So that's why BMC election or the municipal election are much more tricky to predict compared to an assembly election.
Right. In fact, let me go to the ground in Mumbai. My colleague Aman is also joining us from there. Aman, which way is the sea breeze flowing this evening in Mumbai?
Well, see, Shivani, it is very difficult to predict an election, and I won't hazard a guess till the results come out tomorrow. But if I tell you what are the issues on the ground and which are the big factors in this election, the number one factor, I think, is the Thackeray brothers uniting. Whoever I've spoken to in Mumbai, people, especially in the constituencies where the Marathi community is in larger numbers, even in South Mumbai, people do have this emotive and people do have a connection. People speak fondly and this nostalgia about the Thackeray brothers coming together. It's also a last throw of the dice by the Thackeray brothers in a sense that they have faced serious reverses in the 1.5 years back when we had the assembly elections here. So they need to perform here. Can they win the election? I am not too sure. But if they perform well and be a strong opposition with about 70 to 80 seats in the 227-member BMC, that could be a strong comeback by the Thackerays. Will it happen? We'll have to wait till tomorrow. I think the number two issue is the Marathi Manus issue. In the last election, we have seen that in fact the majority of Marathi Manus had voted for the NDA, and that is why Eknath Shinde emerged as this big hero. Devendra Fadnavis called himself the son of the soil, and that is why you saw the big voting for the Mahayuti in the assembly election. But this time, the things are different because the two Thackeray brothers are together. They are appealing to the Marathi Manus to unite and saying, "Ek hai to safe hai." They are hoping that the Marathi Manus shifts course towards them. Will it happen? In what proportion it will happen? Maybe that will determine the election. Shivani, there are 87 seats here in Mumbai where the MNS UBT together is fighting against the Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde. Who wins those 87 seats, I think, is the make or break thing in this election, because that will also prove who really has the control over the Marathi vote. That all said, Shivani, I think the people on the ground are more bothered about the civic issues. They complain, as you were saying, about potholed roads, traffic jams. Ease of living is a big issue. People want to get from their home to their office in the shortest possible time, not spend 2 hours, 3 hours daily in traffic or in congested local trains. They want parties to solve these issues. But sadly, I feel no party is coming forward to speak about the ease of a living of a common Mumbaikar in these BMC elections. Mr. Fadnavis has spoken about the infrastructure that has come, but I think people are looking for more. And because people are not being promised this ease of living in no uncertain terms, I think that explains also the voter apathy. Till 3:30 p.m., only 41% Mumbaikars have voted in these all-important high-stakes BMC elections.
Yes, and we're waiting for those updated numbers because the last 6 elections from 1992 onwards, only In 2017, the last election, did the voting percentage cross 50%? Otherwise, for the previous 5 elections, it was below 50. But we're waiting for those updated numbers. Abhijit Majumdar is also with us. Abhijit, the interesting question here is, with so much that has changed in the Maharashtrian political landscape, if you look at these elections, not just in BMC, but the other, 20-odd municipal elections in Maharashtra, one thing is emerging, that the biggest rival or the prime rival or the pole is BJP now. All alliances are centering around either defeating the BJP or coming together with the BJP.
Right. It has very clearly established itself as the #1 party in Maharashtra, especially after that spectacular assembly results. There's very little doubt that BJP calls the shots. But Mumbai, as Aman just said before me, right now, it will be very interesting to see how the Thackeray brothers coming together, how that will pan out. And, MVA will have the Muslim vote, remember. So, is it going to be a MM vote that sort of gives MVA an edge?
But there is an AIMIM also fighting, not on the many seats, but in the Muslim dominant
also
seats.
Congress is fighting.
Congress is fighting alone. They are actually fighting for the same Muslim or the minority vote.
Also, yes. So, in multi-cornered contest, anybody could win. So, they, we can't say that, there is advantage so and so. But, and also, even though the two brothers have united, both of them have come so far away from the ideology of the OG Thackeray, of Bal Thackeray, and Bal Thackeray is missing from the posters. He is, his ideology is not being pushed by MVA and the two brothers. Even
well,
the
they've tried. One would say they've tried, but maybe too belatedly. Savio, would it be too late?
Namaste, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsuman and we begin with the latest on the poll of polls. And it looks like history is going to be written, viewers. Perhaps for the first time in more than 2.5 decades, the Thackerays are no longer going to be Mumbai's kings. It's the voters seems to have decided, based on the exit polls and poll of polls, that the plus 50% voter turnout has yielded and voted entirely in favor of the Mahayuti. The combination of Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde, that Mahayuti seems to be coasting its way through the Mumbai polls. So ballot maximum city is in favor of, well, the Mahayuti. Mumbai has decided, maximum city has decided, and the remaining 28 Mahanagar Palikas, the Mahayuti, the combined, aims to do well. Thane seems to be the gad where Eknath Shinde will permanently stamp his authority over the Shiv Sena, and perhaps the Thackerays will be marginalized. The coming together of the two warring brothers also doesn't seem to have helped the case of Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. That's what the indications are as of now, even as a host of celebrities came out to cast their ballot. Let's quickly do the poll of polls and see what are the exit pollsters saying. Let's have a quick look at that. So the JVC exit poll, the BJP has a vote share of 44%. Look at those numbers, 44%, and SS Shiv Sena UBT 35%, Congress 14%. So again, the larger vote share, and of course, if it's going one way, it will go all the way. The halfway number is the overall strength of the house is 227. The halfway number is about 114, and it looks like the BJP seems to be very comfortably par that number. Now, the JVC exit poll share based on the vote share, seat share, 138 seats for the BJP. Shiv Sena UBT, that is Uddhav Thackeray's team, is 59, so less than 60 seats. Their best was about 84 the last time around, but this is at 60 seats. That's where they are. But that combined is going to be really strong. Let's quickly look at some of the other numbers. Axis My India is saying that the BJP will have more than 42% vote share, and that's why the seat share goes up again for them. to 141. The BJP plus the Mahayuti is at 141 if you were just to flip into the seat share, and that's where they are. See, 141, 63 seats for Shiv Sena UBT. Congress down, nowhere in sight at all. And the others is the Sharad Pawar, Ajit Pawar combined, all have been grouped into others. That's how marginalized they will be in Mumbai. Sakal exit poll says that the BJP plus will just go past the halfway mark, just 5 seats ahead at 119, although the trend again indicates that it is going to go the Mahayuti way, and they will have enough and more numbers comfortably, because among the others is the NCP, Ajit Pawar, and also the NCP, Sharad Pawar. So whatever comes there, will Ajit Pawar's group come back into the NDA fold? We'll have to wait and watch how that is fought. Will the Shiv Sena really pull 75 seats? Or has Sakal been generous? We'll have to wait and watch and see. So what are the big takeaways? The big takeaways: no takers for the Marathi versus outsider pitch and all this entire rabble-rousing. Mumbai has very clearly decided who they think is going to do work for the city. And of course, BJP's organizational might delivering yet again. It's the first BMC win where Matoshri's dominance in civic body actually ends. Now, Mumbai was the gud and the core of existence of the Shiv Sena. The Mumbai reserves, the fact that this is the financial capital of the country and also one of the biggest civic bodies in Asia, among the top 5, and that's the reason why its reserves, its budgets, actually dwarfed some states and some nations. That's how big and how rich Mumbai is, and that's why this is a huge carpet or rug that's been pulled from under the feet of the Thakres. The Thakre brothers reunion having no impact. Shiv Sena under Shinde weakens the Thakres. State government sway convinces Mumbai's voter. And of course, civic urban apathy forces change of power. More importantly, I think people have just realized that we need to know, we see who is going to deliver, and big underwriting and confidence, vote of confidence in favor of Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde. It also, the dominant party, fractured poll fray actually helps the dominant party, because everybody was fighting differently or separately, except for this combine of Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis. And despite what everybody tried to say, they've come together and they've delivered. And it looks like the indications are Thane will be with Eknath Shinde. Do join and stay with us on our continuous coverage of Ballot Maximum City here on CNN News 18 all through Friday, when counting begins 10 a.m. onwards. So our coverage will get underway. We'll be there on it since morning, but our special coverage starts 9 a.m. onwards here at CNN News 18. For the moment on the right stand, we're going to get a move on to another aspect. Today is also a festival day all across Bharat. Viewers, as we set this up, have you ever thought why Bharat celebrates the same festival with different names across the country? There must be something that connects all of us, right? Prime Minister Narendra Modi reflected on the deep cultural significance of Kashi Tamil Sangamam in a blog post, describing it as a living symbol of Bharat's unity in diversity under Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat initiative. The Prime Minister began by recalling his recent visit to Somnath Swabhiman Parv, where people from all over Bharat gathered to commemorate 1,000 years of cultural resilience. Now, during the event, he met participants of various cultural sangamams, including Kashi Tamil Sangamam, and was moved by their appreciation for these platforms that celebrate Bharat's diverse heritage. Now, in his post on the occasion of Pongal, which is also Bihu in the east, it is Baisakhi in the north, it is Padwa, a special day again in Maharashtra and in Karnataka, across the country. So it's this harvest, this Uttarayan is celebrated. Now, PM shared his personal connection with Tamil culture, noting that one of his few regrets in life is not having learned Tamil. He explained how the Sangamam, a confluence of cultures, exemplifies the shared roots and emotional ties between Kashi, that is Varanasi, and Tamil Nadu, rooted in centuries of spiritual exchange and literary history, including the influence of Tamil poet Subramanya Bharati in Kashi. So, is this somewhere trying to set the story right, where Bhasha, Bharati and Bharat are all linked, away from this ideology that has been perhaps wedged into the entire Tamil narrative, contrary to the true spirit of Dravidian Periyar politics or Periyarism? Somewhere has he tried to align this and make people realize that what has been pushed over the last 4 to 5 decades, if not more, around that much time, around 6 decades, let's say, viewers, is just an intervention into what is the larger connection of Tamil with Bharat. Ramasamy Mayappan, advocate with us, Rajashekharan, lawyer, political analyst with us, and R. Rajagopalan also with us. My namaste. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Vanakkam, and Pongal Varthakal to everybody. So, Mr. Rajagopalan, the honors to you to open up this conversation. Has the Prime Minister reset this entire, metric, and will Tamil Nadu respond?
Definitely, Tamil Nadu will respond in 2026 elections, Anand. Moreover, Mr. Narendra Modi broke into the dominance of DMK, especially from the Stalin style of functioning, that he made DMK to collapse itself by organizing this Tamil Sangamam in Varanasi. There is a connect. Now, for the last 4 or 5 years, Anand, I could see a lot of North Indians getting into that, especially in other parts of the country. Now, coming to the exact point, apart from Narendra Modi's contribution towards Kasi Tamil Sangamam, uniting his constituency with Tamil, it is Mr. Narendra Modi who went to Elam area in 2015, establishing his credentials in Tamil Nadu, parts of Sri Lanka, where he said, I am the first Prime Minister to visit Sri Lanka. Second, it is Mr. Narendra Modi who brought defense corridor for Tamil Nadu. Therefore, Prime Minister, whenever he went abroad, he mentioned about this Tirukural. It got translated into 8 to 9 languages. It is Narendra Modi who brought Chinese President Xi Jinping to Mahabalipuram. And first and final, I tell you, Anand, Narendra Modi made every BJP leader, including the newly appointed Nitin Nabin, to go to Coimbatore and go with a dhoti, lungi style. Narendra Modi wore lungi, Amit Shah wore lungi, with Dharmendra Pradhan wore lungi. Whereas the Dravidian culture is, during Karunanidhi's regime, I used to cover Tamil Nadu Assembly as a reporter. I saw only dhoti, there is no pant. Now T-shirts have come in Tamil Nadu. He changed that attire also in Tamil Nadu. Such is the influence which Narendra Modi has in Tamil Nadu. This 2026 will definitely make. Even in the blog, Mr. Narendra Modi made a contribution about Tamil Nadu culture in his month ki baat.
But is it purely political or is it also cultural, Mr. Rajagopalan? Do you want to see it only from a political point of view or is there a cultural point of view? So
it is cultural. It is cultural, basically 75%, 25% political. Because the Tamil Nadu, for the last 60 years, doing a fraud on the Tamil language, I should say that. Because Tirupavai, Tirumambavai, Tirupalli Edichi, Kanda Sashti, these are all lyrics which were composed more than 1,000 years, more than 500 years, like that. Tirupavai for that matter. For that matter, Silappadigaram, Purananuru, Agananuru. These are all things which Narendra Modi touches. Mr. Narendra Modi made a very clever attempt of dividing the Dravidian thing into a cultural Tamil and post-Dravidian Tamil. That is why DMK is shivering and DMK is unable to participate even in the debate with Mr. Narendra Modi on Tamil Sangamam. So far, there is no criticism from DMK on Tamil Sangamam.
Okay, Mr. Rajashekharan.
Good evening, Anand. Happy Pongal to all the Tamils living around the globe, and happy Magara Sankranti. And the harvest festival, Pongal, is being celebrated in Tamil Nadu by all the Tamil population. I mean, I reiterate, I underline, it is the Tamil population. We don't divide, there is no division among ourselves. There is no caste, religion and creed among. We are all united in one voice. We are Tamils and we celebrate Pongal. And we wear, it is our tradition, our culture. I have been wearing vesti since my memory goes more than 40 years. When I was a school student from 10th standard, I used to wear vesti. So wearing vesti for political benefits and gains is obvious. It's known to every Tamil of Tamil Nadu. And Sangis wearing lungis doesn't make any impact because the people of Tamil Nadu are always brilliant to understand what is the political motive and agenda behind every act of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with due respect to him. I don't want to, speak something which is not fair. Okay, Tamil is the oldest language in the world, and Kasi Tamil Sangam, it is not Kashi Tamil Sangam, it is Kasi. We call it Kasi Kipon and Sannyasi, like that. The old songs, even movie songs are like that. So it is Kasi Tamil Sangamam. We speak Tamil with the connotations, with the phonetics of Tamil. So Tamil is the oldest language, and I would like everybody to speak Tamil, not the Tanglish, which everybody says is Kashi, Tamil. No, it's not Tamil, it is Tamil. Because I am the president of Voice of Tamil Nadu, not Tamil Nadu. So all this makes impact. We Tamilians are always unique in our culture, including Anand Narsiman and everybody in the panel, Rajagopalan and everybody. We are Tamil. There is no division or there is no high
Which
low
Prime
among
Minister went to Sri Lanka? You tell me, Rajsekharan.
There are a lot of questions. Let him make his point.
Tamil is the oldest language, and the BJP is trying to take advantage by fishing in the troubled water. Yes, they are politically.
So here you have.
No, please finish. Allow me to finish. Politically, I am no spokesperson to DMK, ADMK, or anybody, any political party. We Tamils are united. We celebrate Pongal, we celebrate Deepavali, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Ramzan, we celebrate all festivals of all religions. We are all brothers and sisters in Tamil Nadu. We don't see any division among ourselves. The communal agenda of BJP imposing their agenda with the Hindutva ideology to polarize the vote will not work in Tamil Nadu. Polarization of Hindutva votes in the name of Hinduism will not work in Tamil Nadu. They are desperately trying left, right, and center. 2026 elections
Mr. Rajasekharan, you have to yield, sir. Sir, you are not giving an election speech that you will continue to speak even beyond your allotted time, sir. No, Mr. Raja, he yielded when I intervened. Mr. Rajasekharan, sir, when sir, this is all strategy which I know very well, sir. Use for it. It's not going to work here. What I am trying to. Okay, sir. Ideki pongal, sir. Let us sanda poda venda. Let us not fight. Let's not shout over each other. Also, please yield. I'm just going to say, please yield. My point is, sir, with roots where you yourself here on my show have claimed that your forefathers or grandfather also was a Dikshitar in a temple. You should not so you should not. Sir, now let me speak. No, sir. Now let me speak. Now let me. Good. Sir, adala vittu neenga vera engyo poittu. Neengale madam maaritar. But that is also your choice, sir. I respect that. What I am trying to say is, at least with that jnana, you should not try and separate Hindutva from Hindu way of life and from Hinduism. They are all the same. In fact, the Hinduism is an insertion, is a schism. That kept attack. Hindutva is not political. Sir, 1 minute. Sir, don't speak. Sir, please don't do it, sir. Why? Hindutva is not political. When you credit the BJP or the RSS with Hindutva, you are doing Hindutva a disservice. You are doing the Hindu way of life a disservice. Don't give them that credit. That's my simple submission. Ramaswamy Mayappan. 1 minute. Ramaswamy Mayappan. Bharatiyar or Periyar? Who should Tamil Nadu choose? They can follow or they can read about both, but which is the right way which actually integrates every individual with what essentially is Bharat? And has the Prime Minister underlined that beautifully? Yeah.
I'm going to take a leaf out of Bharatiyar and Manashri Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister. First, greet everyone on, like you said, Lori, Pongal, Makar Sankranti, all the harvest festivals. What united our country is how all these festivals are brought together across the country. 1. 2. Why did people all the way from Tamil Nadu, the tips of Rameshwaram and Kanyakumari, take bullock carts and travel all the way to Kasi and Somnath? Way back when transportation was not available, safety was an issue. There were different kingdoms. When there were Islamic invasion, when there was British. If there was no unity, there was no understanding between these people, there was no cross-cultural relationship between these people, there would not have been any of this interaction at all. So that is what the Prime Minister is talking about. That all of us are one. Ekta. So Shrestha Bharat and Ek Bharat comes from that simple position, one. And that's the reason why we have to believe in Bharati and not in E.V. Ramasamy Nayaka. The simple position. Bharatiyar consistently spoke about a united India, spoke about the development of each language, of all the people in the country, of the women in this country, and consistent continued development. And whereas Periyar constantly spoke about continuing with the British rule, giving Tamil away, giving Tamil a go-by in education, giving Tamil a bye-bye in administration, all of these were his positions. And today to celebrate and say Periyar supported Tamil is historically inaccurate, one. And when we celebrate and why we celebrate Bharatiyar is once again the link between him going to Kasi, his realization, his travel across the country and coming back to Tamil Nadu and delivering all his poetic works. And that is what unites the people. Just one instance from my own personal family experience. I have someone 7 generations ago. My great-great-great-grandmother took a bullock cart all the way from Rameshwaram and Karaikudi, went all the way to Kasi. And we still have the Natkot Tangrata Chatram is something that is very popular to everyone that goes to Kasi. This link of people several generations ago, several hundred years ago, is because this country is united in spirit. It's because of their methods of worship. It's because of their relationship and support with each other. It's because how they treat each other in a brotherly manner. It is not because of how the political entities today claim it's Dravidianism, or it's because of beyond religion that there is a secular ideology. Politically, there can be no secularism. Secularism is only to government. Secularism applies to when government does not interfere in religious affairs, not with regards to an individual's affair. What the political parties today want is everyone to follow no religion and claim that is secularism. That by definition is wrong, under the constitution is wrong. So I am afraid how all these political parties try to deviate what Prime Minister Narendra Modi does. And one more instance, everyone can claim how Prime Minister Narendra Modi dresses, how he addresses in Tamil, how he uses Tamil across the world. He uses Tirukkural, he uses Bharatiyar statement, Silapadikaram, everywhere. Assume for a moment even argument of it's political. Even at that particular point in time, he is one of the prime ministers who talks about Tamil pride, Tamil culture and celebrates Tamil everywhere. What has happened to every other prime minister that the DMK has allied with? They've been allied with different prime ministers in different governments since 1989. What has happened to 10 years of UPA? How many government exams were they able to conduct in Tamil? What did they do in 10 years of their rule? What did they do when they were in the previous United Front government? They were not able to achieve anything. So today, all the Dravidianism that the DMK can speak is only political harping there. If they have done anything for Tamil, let them demonstrate in government policy when they were in the UPA rule. 10 years. How many government exams did they change? How many academic systems did they change? Not one. That is the reality.
It's not even about academic systems. 2004 to 2014, in how many CBSE schools north of the Vindhyas did they insist that Tamil should be taught, and did they send trained Tamil teachers from Tamil Nadu to go ahead and propagate Tamil and teach Tamil across Bharat? That did not happen. So these are all aspects which one needs to imbibe, understand, and also perhaps register in their head. Bhasha, Bharati, Bharat. Has this link been beautifully drawn by the Prime Minister? That's what we are trying to understand here. I've got to pause this conversation, gentlemen, as I thank you, because we're just now joined by S. Gurumurthy, editor Tughlaq. He's joining us. Namaskaram. Thank you for your time, Mr. Gurumurthy. Pongal Vartakal. My first question to you straight away, sir. What the Prime Minister has said, does it perhaps redefine the approach itself? And will this perhaps provoke some intense thinking on who to follow, Bharati or E.V. Ramasamy Nayaka, Bharatiyar or Periyar?
See, actually, this question has a much deeper implications.
Yes.
Tamil Nadu saw Periyar's intervention into its long association with the entire Bharatavarsha. You know, it's a long story,
Go ahead, sir.
You know, when the British came here, they first said that the locals who were semi-barbarians were turned somewhat into civilized people by Aryans.
Yeah.
This was the first Aryan theory.
Yeah.
It was not Aryan invasion.
It was Aryan settlement.
It was Aryan influence.
Yeah.
Later, when the Indus Valley was discovered, they said this was a more grown-up civilization, which the pastoral Aryans came and invaded and disturbed. Because they found in one skull, there was a broken skull. They said they came and hit the civilized Dravidians and so on. The entire Aryan Dravidian theory was superimposed. No, one of the greatest epigraphists who uncovered the Indus Valley civilization was Airavatam Mahadevan.
Yes.
Airavatam Mahadevan and me had a discussion in 1978. We have been long-standing friends. So he said, no, this Aryan Dravidian is civilizationally separate. Though I don't agree with the view of Aryan invasion. Aryan emigration is the correct approach. Unless you understand it, we will not be able to understand what Bharatiya and Periyar in Tamil Nadu. So I told him, you are a Sanskrit scholar. You have interpreted the Indus Valley seals. Have you ever compared, when you say Indus Valley is pre-Aryan, which means pre-Vedic, have you compared the Indus Valley seals with the Vedic texts? This is the question I asked in 1977. 1 year the man worked on it. 1 whole year. One day at 11:30 in the night he called me and said, Guru, I am going mad. You must come immediately. In those days I didn't have a car. I actually took my bicycle and went to him. It was about 2 kilometers away. He told me, I am shocked that the Somapana Yajna chapter in Rig Veda exactly matches with not 1 or 2 or 3 Indus Valley seals, but hundreds. It describes that there is a bullock with a hump.
Yeah.
The long, it extends his face like this, long eyes, and there is a stump over which there is a vessel on which a liquid is pouring. This is exactly the description of Indus Valley seals, depicting the Rigvedic text. He said, I am flabbergasted. My whole theory is shaken. Then he wrote an article. Is it a vessel or as something else?
Something else.
But he said from there onwards his entire theory changed and he felt there was an alignment between the Vedic civilization and Indus Valley. I tell you further where we have taken it to, because I'm not a domain specialist, but Mahadevan gave me a certificate that I am a fellow seeker of truths. He has written it and given to me, and that is my doctorate in these subjects. Now, Vedas are supposed to be Aranyakas. They are developed in forests.
Correct.
And they were employed as Brahmanas in the plains. So, Vedas were not developed in the Indus Valley. They were developed in the forests around the Indus Valley and used as yajnas and other means for which you can find evidence in the Indus Valley. So, Aranyakas was the place of knowledge. Forest was not a dark place for us. Forest is the place of
forest
jnana,
of
knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah.
So, the entire anthropological study of India went wrong by accepting the English model that plains are civilized and forest is backward. It is actually the reverse. From that time onwards, you have to see how the entire assessment of the Indian civilization as something different on the plains as compared to the forests has gone wrong, and that is how the Aryan Dravidian theory was perpetuated. But there is certainly one difference. There is a huge difference between languages as you move across the country. The phonetics vary from period to period. The script came into existence only in first, second century. In fact, I used to ask Airavata Mahadevan, when you say, he himself said the Brahmi script came into existence only in the first century AD or
but that's been
first century
disproved now.
BC. How do you say Indus script? They are Indus seals. They convey an idea. They are not written language. So we used to have discussions like this. This has not concluded even now, but the major opinion is that Indus Valley, later Harappan civilization at least combined both. You can see all over. In fact, the Encyclopedia Britannica finally admitted that the Indus Valley civilization has nothing to do with the Babylonian or Egyptian or anywhere. It is a homegrown on its own, and it is continuous from that time till today. It is an admission that this is a continuous civilization. If in Kiradi something is found linking it to Indus Valley, it is not that it is Aryan and Dravidian. It is an alignment.
It is an alignment. It's
so,
linked.
if you look at it in this sense, in this whole country, there has been a common, in days where there have been no communication, people aligned on ideas. People aligned on dates. People aligned on festivals. That is how Pongal, Makar Sankranti, Bihu, all are celebrated around the same date.
And Uttarayan is a common phenomenon.
Narendra Modi is right.
Based on the movement of the sun.
But you know, in this country, no political leader has taken a civilizational approach to understanding India. They always took the anthropological approach or the Weberian approach or the Marxist approach, because these are all approaches which never looked at the whole. They looked at like seeking the elephant's part through blind eyes and trying to defend the whole. So Narendra Modi's approach is different, and it is not political. It may have political implications. He started talking about Tamil well before 2019. In the United Nations, everywhere.
2016.
And he has been, because I have some personal association, he is a genuine admirer of Tamil. Thanks to one Thirupugal, an IAS officer, who is from Tamil Nadu, who is from a great family of Tamil scholars. And so he learnt more and more about Tamil. And so I am absolutely thrilled that there is a Prime Minister who is willing to look at India as a civilizational entity and look at all the languages as manifestation. As Bharati said, that you are one, but you have many voices. That is the language. I think Narendra Modi is the right approach for India and Tamil Nadu.
But if that is the case, Professor Gurumurthy, are you saying there is no political attachment or underlying intent to it? Ram Mandir, if we were to say, and this direct connection with the choice of black stone and Ram Vigraha in that manner, the Sengol in Parliament, Tamil Sangamams in Saurashtra and Kashi.